its charge take?
That's another great question.
Hello, folks. It's Patrick Gorman.
Hi, this is Jake Busey.
Hi, this is Bruce Boxleitner.
This is Tom Vera from A Gettysburg Christmas.
Hi, this is Bo Brinkman.
And you're listening to
Addressing Gettysburg.
I'm glad you're listening. Thank you.
I expected you to say something like that.
Did you say Lincoln?
Good night, everybody.
Bullshit.
Bonfire.
You're listening to Addressing Gettysburg Today.
I love this podcast.
Hello, exactly.
Wow. Uh-oh. Wow. What'd you do to him? Duh. I give him all the credit in the world.
Come on, man.
Nice.
0.0.
I just hate you, and I hate your ass face.
Hello, Bethany.
Hello,
and
Mateo.
all the ships at sea. How are you?
My butt is kicked. I have
Yeah?
a kicked butt. Yeah.
Why?
I gardened today.
Hard gardening?
Yes.
Hard gardening.
I did. We take one day off every spring.
Oh, I
we
didn't wait.
garden.
I got to change the camera here. I'm sorry. Hold on. I missed it. Sorry. There we go. Oh, boy. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. You get to see our
darn,
beautiful
people
faces.
weren't seeing my face.
I know.
Oh,
It's terrible.
The tragedy.
No, but you were. So Colby's not here to do the cameras, folks. So I got to do it. And do you guys mind shutting that door? I'm sorry. It's very bright in here. So yeah, that's why I'm doing the camera too. So bear with me. It's probably going to stay on this 2-shot most of the time. When we have our guests, we'll have the 3-shot. But there we go. Okay, not so washed out. Anyway, you were saying you were hard gardening.
I was. We take one day off every spring, Mark and I, and we garden. And we get everything ready for the whole year. And I apparently let the weeds grow too much. So
Yeah, you love weed.
I do.
I
I told you my weed story, right?
No.
Okay.
What's the
We'll
weed
talk about
story?
that. The only time I've ever seen weed in real life.
Yeah.
Did I tell you that story?
No.
Okay.
You're talking cannabis?
Yes.
No, you didn't tell me the story.
Okay, we can talk about that another time.
Oh, okay.
I mean, unless you want me to tell it right
Thanks
now.
for
but in
teasing the
same time-
audience.
I mean, I could tell the story.
Okay, go ahead. Don't
So
want
I
you to get in
lived in
trouble.
York.
Okay, yeah.
I lived in York,
Right.
down the street from what was affectionately called the Ghetto Giant on Market Street, which isn't there anymore. And I was in line, and I was behind a gentleman who's paying, and something fell to the floor.
Uh-oh.
And I picked it up because it was green, and I thought it was money. And I went, "Sir, you dropped this." And he ran out of the store so fast. And I'm like, sir, your stuff. And my husband's like, "Bethany." And I'm like, "What?" And I looked down
What?
and
It's
I'm
oregano.
I looked to the cashier and I'm like, "Is this what I think it is?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Oh my God, my fingerprints are on it." Like, what do I do? Like, that's the only time I've ever seen it.
But you, why did you think it was money?
Because it was green. I just saw green fall. And I thought he had pulled it out of his pocket.
Yeah, well, he did.
Well, he did.
Yeah.
And so I thought he had dropped like a bills folded up.
Yeah, okay.
And so I grabbed it. And then it wasn't until later when I looked at it that I realized not cash.
That's weird. I've never.
Listen,
Even,
I'm from Clarion.
Yeah, you don't have that there?
I'm sure they do, but I never saw it. I went to Catholic school. Again,
Yeah.
never saw it.
No, I was a late bloomer with all that stuff too. It wasn't until I got to the public school and teachers were handing it out, and well, I mean, it's it's funny when you went to Catholic school. So our principal was a nun.
No.
Okay, well, ours was. And she was clearly like shilling for the regional Catholic high school. So by the time we get to 6th, 7th, 8th grade, she starts drumming this thing into your head. She would say, if you go to the public school, the key word there isn't education, it's survival.
Oh my.
You'll get beaten up in the hallways, and I was like deathly afraid to go to public school. And my
Yeah.
mother's like, "Too bad, we're not paying tuition for the Catholic school." And I was like, okay. And I had a math tutor who happened to be a teacher at the public school, and I know it was 8th grade, and I was going to go there next year, and I'm like, I don't want to go there because you're
terrified. Yeah.
Sister Virginia says we're going to get beaten up, and she goes, "What?" And she goes, "No, we hardly have any fights in the school. It's like it's perfectly fine. Don't worry about it." And it was absolutely okay.
Yeah, we didn't have any nuns. All of our
Really?
teachers were lay people.
Well, we only had one nun teacher.
Okay.
And then the principal. And then there were like 3 decrepit nuns who were probably in their 90s who were
they
just
were
kind
probably
of
65.
probably.
Yeah.
They seemed old.
Yeah.
But they were like out to pasture. So they would do like auxiliary things, like one of them played the piano
pasture.
during singing practice.
Yeah.
And the other one was like a substitute teacher if one of those and she always used to pick her nose or itch the inside. I'm not sure
doing this?
we with both, but she'd get up there with both fingers.
Oh my.
Yeah, and we would always be like, "Look, Sister Catherine's picking her nose again," and she had a beard, and that was
God
weird.
bless her.
God's with her. She's with God now for sure. She would probably be 130 now, I think.
Probably.
Oh, definitely over 100. Many years over 100 by now. If she were still alive.
That's funny. You said Sister Virginia. The only nun that was in our parish was a Sister Ginny.
Ginny?
Also Virginia.
Virginia, yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, I don't think her real name was Virginia, though.
Oh, I don't know. Sister
Or maybe
Ginny's
it was.
real name was
I don't remember. Fury.
I'm pretty sure.
Her last name was Fury.
No, it was
Yeah,
not.
absolutely.
Like Nick Fury.
Like Fury, like the wrath of God, and I'll tell you something, she was a military brat growing up, and so she ran
a lot
the
about
school.
this woman.
Well, she would tell us.
Oh.
And she ran the school like it was some kind of a military base, and and I'm sure other schools do this, but like in the morning, we didn't go into our classrooms. We assembled outside on the blacktop.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you do calisthenics?
No, yeah, right. You would think, right? No, we would. They had parking spaces on this blacktop, and the blacktop was not intended for parking. Like you couldn't get to it. Although we would crack up to see like old ladies somehow finding their way there. Like you'd have to drive over grass to get there, and they would somehow find their way to it and park in the spaces. And a teacher would have to
get there.
Yeah, a teacher would have to go out and say, "This isn't a parking space," and she's like, "What the hell is it then?" And it was for the classes to assemble within the space. And then Sister Virginia walks out and rings a bell. No, with a bell, a handbell. And she'd walk out and ring it all the way to her position at the head of the battalion, ding, 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 ding. And then she'd get out there, and then that was our cue to all like get in line.
Are you sure you were in Catholic school?
I swear to God, it was like we were in the army of the Lord, and so we
Catholic school kids will laugh at that.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
And so we would all line up, double ranks, or column of twos, and size order. So shortest in the front, tallest in the back, and she would say something, whatever, address us in some way. Usually she would just recite the speech from the beginning of Patton, and then she would ring the bell. She wouldn't say, "Okay, go inside." She would ring the bell, and then, company by company, we'd all have to fall in line and go into our respective classrooms. The only time we didn't have to do it was if it was raining. We'd go straight inside.
We go straight inside.
Yeah, and I never, until I told this story right now, I never even thought what was the purpose of lining us up outside. Because when I went to public school, you go straight in the building.
You know what they probably were doing was taking attendance.
No, they did that when you get in class. The teachers weren't even there. No, wait. Yeah, no, the teachers they would come out with you. Yeah, they would walk you in. The captains.
Oh, I don't know.
The captains would come out and they'd walk you in, and then they'd take a roll,
Oh, well, that was kind of annoying.
Yeah, it was point. And then there were morning announcements, and she'd get on the PA. She'd be like,
"Good morning, everyone. Welcome to a beautiful day at St. Peter the Apostle School. Teachers, don't forget that the students have hot dog day on Friday, so get all of the slips in now for their orders. Also, the 7th grade will be going on."
She had a very heavy Jersey accent.
I'm loving the fact that it comes out of you.
Yeah, well, I'm doing
when you're
my
imitating.
We made a movie. It was I'll get into that in a second.
So, and then, all right. And then the 7th grade will be going to Radio City Music Hall to see the Christmas Spectacular.
Spectacular.
And so, teachers, they won't be here or whatever. So there will be no switching for science class because Mrs. Lee isn't here or whatever. And then she would play the morning hymn. And all she would do is, I wish I had planned to do this. I would have made it sound better. But she would take you remember those flat tape players or tape recorders? They were just flat, and you put the cassette in, right, and the thing opens up, and then there's the buttons. So she had that sitting on top of the file cabinet where she had the microphone for the PA, and she would play some hymn, right? That's recorded on this tape. But it would be like, she'd hit play. Well, first of all, you'd hear
the...
Yeah. You would hear, like, as she's getting it, like, she would lean the microphone on the speaker, okay? And then, so you'd hear, like, fumbling around, right? And then it starts to play, and it's like, well, the Lord hears the cry of the poor, or whatever. But she was, God rest her soul, she was traumatizing to me. She traumatized me because...
How many kids were in your class?
I started with a class of 32. We took 50% casualties by 8th grade.
Yeah, we had a class of 7.
Yeah, we had 16 at the end, 8 boys, 8 girls. And you would think that
4
would be
girls,
pretty
3
good
boys.
for the whole hormone thing, but no, it didn't work out that way. But she... Well, okay, so now I don't know if you get this from knowing me and watching the show and everything, but I'm a kind of a goof.
What?
Yeah, I know.
Well, wait.
I know.
Everybody calm down.
I know.
I'm having a moment.
And I used
of the clumps.
I used to like to do impressions.
No. You used to like to do impressions.
Well, I still do.
Okay.
I developed my impression skill in school.
Oh.
Okay. And
making fun of this poor woman.
Well, not at first.
Oh.
At first it was teachers and fellow students. Now, I never was malicious or vindictive with my impressions. It was me. I remember in 6th grade, I think it was, I saw an interview with Dana Carvey, who was very big at the time on SNL.
Yes.
And they asked him, where did you get the character of Garth? And he said, well, that's my brother. And they're like, really? He goes, yeah. He goes, most comedians or most impressionists pull from what they know, right? And so that's how you get. So I go, oh, yes. I'm honing my craft when I make fun of my fellow students. And so they would get upset.
Well, yeah.
And go cry to the principal. And then you hear on the PA in the middle of the day.
Pardon the interruption. Matt Calorie, please come to the principal's office. Matt Calorie to the office.
And so I'd go down there and I'd be like, yes, sister. And she would go, I hear you're making fun of, Susie Jones. And I said, no, not really. And she's down here crying because you're making fun. I said, no, I wasn't making fun of her. I was doing an impression. I said, we pull from what we know. I thought I was...
we.
The
royal
yeah.
we.
No, we impressionists.
Oh.
I'm 6th grade here. And she'd be like, well, don't do it. And, you're not honing your craft. You're hurting feelings and stuff.
Yeah.
So fine. Okay. So then we began an impression of her. And so my friend and I, we were into like video making and stuff, or trying to get into it. And this is in the VHS days, so it was a lot harder to do than today. And so we would make these shorts of her. One was called Sister's Island, and it was like she gets shipwrecked on an island
on a 3-hour tour.
And it's just her, and yet somehow
I've seen this one.
Somehow there's an assassin on the island,
Always.
Because JFK, the movie JFK, had just come out.
Oh yeah,
and so JFK was everywhere, and I'm seeing all these documentaries and stuff, and
so obviously there's a magic bullet.
Yeah, right, and so of course, so we recreate the Zapruder film, exactly, back into the life. So we would put her in these situations where she would just unwittingly, walk into an assassin's bullet, and I'd have a ketchup packet in my hand, and I'd push it up and it would squirt out, and that was always the end of the video. And then finally, I got to the public high school, And I made my new friends watch these old videos of me.
And they didn't think it was funny.
At first they did, but then every time they came over, I made them watch another one because I had a bunch of them. And finally they were like, okay, enough with this.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll make a deal with you. We make a full-length parody of The Doors with her as Jim Morrison, and I'll never do it again. And so we did. We spent a whole summer. We went down to the Jersey Shore. We filmed on the beach. I mean, we actually got the principal at our public school, to allow us to use the auditorium to film concert scenes. And we called it, I don't want to say the name of what we called it, but it rhymes with The Doors, and it's a word for the oldest profession. Okay. And her addiction.
I'm waiting for the thing to start popping up.
What, for people? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, so that was my journey with her. And then, like, true to my word, we never did it again after we made that movie.
Catholic school always comes
traumatizes
back.
people.
Yeah, well, yes, but it always comes back to rear its ugly head. Like 3 weeks ago, I was standing out here in the bus depot, and all of a sudden I turned.
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry.
Eric Colville says, I imagine her chain smoking as she's meeting with
Of course,
Yeah.
yes.
Go ahead.
And I turn, and there is my parish priest from Catholic school, from 4 hours away from here, walking towards me.
No, here?
Yeah.
Oh,
and I'm
God.
like, Father Monty. And he's like, yes. And I'm like, you probably don't remember me, but I'm Mary Ellen Stallman's daughter, Bethany. He's like, oh my God, how are you?
He
Hello.
took the Lord's name in vain?
Yes, he did.
Oh, my
And
Lord.
he gave me a big hug, and we were talking, and he goes, what are you doing here? I'm like, I work here. And he said, well, you were on our 6th grade trip. When you went to Catholic school, weren't you? And I said, yes, and I never left. And here I am. I'm back again.
And we have you to thank, Father Spellman. What's
Father
his name?
Monty.
Monty. The full Monty.
Yeah.
The full Father Monty.
He's so cute.
Oh, well, good
Oh
for
my
him.
God.
Yeah,
Wonderful human.
So we had Father Flanagan. Everybody loved Father
See,
Flanagan.
everybody goes by their priest's last name. We never did. They were always by their first name.
Not always.
Frank,
no.
Brian, Monty.
Father Flanagan. Some people called him Father Kevin, but we knew him as Father Flanagan. There was Father Paul. There's Father Dave.
Mm-hmm.
There was Deacon George.
Deacon George.
That was it in my tenure, I believe. And they were cool guys. Like they were really. Father Flanagan was great because he was. I remember one time, we remember You Can't Touch This. You remember that song? Okay, so the only nun teacher that we had was Sister Margaret George, and she taught 5th grade, and she was very soft spoken, like this.
Okay.
She'd whisper.
Okay.
And we'd all have to.
That's called making you terrified.
Yeah. Well, and it's commanding the room, right?
Uh-huh.
And she loved to say the phrase, I can't fathom. And none of us knew what the hell fathom meant, right?
Yes.
We thought she was like a sea captain or something.
As she probably was.
She probably was. And so she'd be like, I can't, we would do something to disappoint her. She'd go, I can't fathom how you think it's right to put gum under the desks. Things like that, right?
Yeah.
So I can't fathom. You can't touch this. I can't fathom. You can't touch this. I can't fathom. So we wrote a parody, full-length parody of You Can't Touch This, and it was I Can't Fathom.
Da-na-na-na.
Yeah, well, one of my stupid friends left it out on his desk, and not Sister Margaret.
No.
She was 5th grade. We were 8th grade by this point. And so somebody sees it, and it goes to one of the girls saw it, and she tattled on us and took it to the teacher, who turned it in. Instead of just crumbling it up and throw it away, she turned it in to the principal.
Oh, no.
The principal, yeah, right. The principal's like, God damn it, I gotta put these cigarettes out. And then she's just like,
will the usual suspects please get to my goddamn office?
So me and the usual suspects all go down to the office, And she says, what's this? This is not good. This is not right. You don't do this to people. Blah 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 blah. Father Flanagan's going to come in and talk to you. So, like an hour later, Father Flanagan comes in. All the girls have to leave the classroom. Father Flanagan gets up there and he's holding the paper in his hand. And he's reading. I know he's trying not to laugh.
Oh, I know.
Because it was a good parody. And he's reading it and he's just like, he goes, and he's a whisperer too, and he's got that brogue.
Yeah.
And he goes, why would you do this to Sister Margaret? What did she do to you?
He was actually Irish?
Oh, yeah, like off the boat. He has a house in Ireland. I think he's still alive. I got to ask my friend Pete. He's got to be in his 90s by now. Pete's mother used to work at the rectory and remained friends with him after he went to another church and has him over for dinner often. But he would give us a quiet little talk. And he, well, how could you do this to Sister Margaret? And you blah, 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 and we were just like, it's a fucking song, Father,
Did you say the F word?
Yeah, I said, hey, Father, what the fuck, hey, Father, come on, Father. And no, but I think he was just going through the motions there. I don't think he really,
Yeah.
I think he probably took the paper back to the rectory and him and the other priests were cracking up at it.
Yeah.
And they were probably singing along to a karaoke version of You Can't Touch This.
Probably. They probably still sing to it.
She used to say, you think it's funny, I think it's sad. That was another one of her things. So it was, I don't remember what the line was, but it was like, oh, every time I come in here, you make me mad. Well, you think it's funny? Well, I think it's sad. I mean, it's not the best, right? But for us, we were very proud. Okay, you can't fathom. Anyway, oh God, now I need to go to a therapist again.
I feel bad that I didn't have an Irish priest.
Yeah, every Catholic church needs an Irish
we didn't
priest.
have one. We had Father Frank Prespirski.
Yeah. Well, no. But I guess it depends on the area.
I don't know what Father Brian's last name was. We all called him Father What a Waste because he was so hot.
Oh.
And
oh, poor Father What a Waste.
Father Brian, he was so cute.
Mitchell, sorry, the phone lines are not open, but they will be when we move over to the new studio because we'll have better internet. Let's see here. Matt, the sister is a veteran of the Christian Commission. Yeah, she was that old. Greetings from sunny Michigan. Hello, Ben. Good evening from Smithfield, VA. Hello, greetings from Easton, PA. Spaghetti's nerds. Blah, 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 blah. Hey now. Mitchell Random Man Keller. Gene Hutch says, I really, really want to see Matt's movie. Well, unfortunately, it is lost to history.
It's in
you know what's
David
funny?
Maggie's basement.
Yeah, right. It's in his collection. What's funny though is that I made copies of it and sold it in school.
You are kidding me.
No, and it was $5 a copy, and I'll never forget it. So let me think
Pete
here.
Have one?
Pete. Yes.
Does Pete listen to
this?
this?
No, Pete doesn't have one. No, Pete wouldn't. Pete wasn't really. He was like peripherally in the picture then. He wasn't like fully in the. I mean, he was a part of our friend group, but he was not part of that for some reason. I don't remember why. Probably because he's a good Catholic boy. But no. So I would sell it in the hallway, and I remember we shot it over the summer of sophomore year and edited it through the fall of junior year. And then I remember, now I was a band guy, right? Like I wasn't.
Oh my God. It just gets worse.
Yeah. So I wasn't, at this point in my high school career. Yeah, really? Okay. At this point in my high school career, I was not the cool guy I ended up being by graduation. And so, are you listening, or are you having your own conversation
I'm having my own
here? Okay, thank you. And so, wait, now I lost what I was saying. Now you made me.
I'm sorry.
I just hate you.
I know.
I hate your ass face.
Oh. So I'm a junior. Okay. Musicians are inherently afraid of the football team, right? Because the musicians in the football team, stereotypically the football players beat up on the band geeks and stuff. Never really happened, but it was always in the back of my head. And don't forget, I had 8 years of Catholic school hearing, it's survival.
Yeah.
You're in the jungles of the public school, and it's survival against the poisonous snakes. So I remember walking down the hallway one day, and one of the big, hulk of a football players comes. He goes, "Yo, Calorie," and I turn around and I go, "What?" And I'm like terrified, And he quotes a line from the movie to me, and he goes, "Pretty cool." And I was like, "Oh, thanks." And next thing you know, I was like, everybody loved me. Everybody, no matter what the click was. And now all of a sudden, I'm like talking to, I'm friends with everybody because I made a movie making fun of a nun.
Well, see, everybody has their moment. Hopefully, everybody has their moment in high school where it just something clicks.
Well, then I spent the next 25 years trying to regain that glory, and,
Hence why
and
you have
here
a
we
podcast.
are. Here we are now. Yeah. But it took, but I tried for 20 years to get the success of this one, and it ain't that successful. I mean, compared to how long it took me to get here. It's successful, and I'm about to show you why.
Yes.
All right.
Let's
So,
do that.
as we all know, first of all, this is the last show in the Getty's Bike Tours studios. And I'd like to thank Jake, the owner of Getty's Bike Tours, for letting us use this space. It was very cool of him to do because when we got to the point of moving in here, we had nowhere to go. Mm-hmm. That whole year, because of the lockdowns, we'd been kicked out not in a bad way from the Destination Gettysburg offices, which is where we originally had our studio. And then the lockdowns happened, and they were like, everybody's, you got to get your stuff out because nobody's allowed in the building. And I rolled my eyes. I was like, okay, God, you guys are falling for this. And so, anyway, that coincided with spring. So I said, all right, we're portable. We'll record on the battlefield. We'll do the whole season on the battlefield. But then August came, and we're like, hey, it's going to be winter soon. What the hell do we do? And then Jake was like, hey, we don't need all this space in the office shed for Getty's Bike, so why don't you make it, your studio? And so here we are. But we've outgrown it.
History.
Yep, we've outgrown it. And Eric Dorr over at the Gettysburg Museum of History, out of the blue, offered the space to me, and I can't say no. I mean, it's a wonderful opportunity.
Yes.
Central air, reliable non-solar electricity.
I just can't wait for winter with heat so that my toes don't become little
You won't have that
ice
problem.
cubes.
Not only, because we're on the top floor, so all the heat's going to rise. And also high-speed internet, so we will be able to have the phones on and the show going at the same time without taxing the weak internet signal that we get down here. All right, but now, so because we're moving over into the new studio, I've been over there painting, and we put a window in. You can go on Instagram and see the progress and some videos there. And I put on our Patreon a link to our wish list, which helped us greatly the last time when we were building this studio. And I said, well, let's see if people are still feeling generous. And oh my God, even more generous than they were the first time. And this is only what we have so far. I got to tell you, in the last week, every time I come home from wherever, there's a pile of boxes and envelopes on my front porch. And I mean,
That's
like a
very
pile.
sweet.
Yeah. And these, I was thinking, and this is going to sound really corny. So I'm just corny alarm right away.
Alert,
okay?
alert.
Corniness coming. But it's true. I was thinking this the other day. I go, most people are lucky if they have one hero in their life.
Yes.
I have, at last count, 396 of them. And not only that, if you count all the people who have come and gone, I have over 600 heroes that have helped us do this. And frankly, those of you who listen for free and you're not a patron, you also, and you like the show. If you hate the show, these aren't your heroes. But if you like the show, then you also have that many heroes as well, because we can't do this without our patrons. And let me just, I have to thank some people, and I got a lot of paper to get through, so I'm going to do it as quickly as I possibly can here. Andy Hunt says, congratulations on the new studio, from Andy Hunt, Nuts and Meat Esquire. That's what, I don't know. It doesn't always, by the way, it doesn't always say what it is that they send. Sometimes, like, it's just this little thing with a message on it. So I'm just thanking everybody. Gift for you. Enjoy your gift from Robert Dalby. Enjoy from Carolyn B. Ivanov. A celebrity contribution there. Can't wait to see the new studio on AG from Dustin Wise. Enjoy your gift. Good luck with the new studio from Chris Boozer or Busser or Buzzer or Buser. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce it, Chris. A gift for you. Enjoy your gift from Harry Evans. Enjoy your gift from Harry Evans. So let's see. Harry sent two things. He sent, this one does say it. The socket splitters. Okay, yeah. So for the lighting. Yep. Okay, so that's what he got there. What is this one here? This is Matt. Happy to help. Thanks for all you do. See you in Gettysburg again soon from John C. DeMario III. Oh, that's quite a name there. Thank you, John. You're the man, Matt. I know. Keep up the good work from Joe. I don't know which Joe that is, but thank you, Joe. Good luck with the new studio from Dustin Wise again. Enjoy your gift from David W. Collins. Enjoy your gift from David W. Collins. The third one. If you need manpower to move, I'll pop out on a weekend and give you a hand. Let me know from David W. Collins. David, I will need your help. Thank you. Good luck on the new studio from Mike. Mike from what? Good luck with the new studio. Mike from Michael Bozio. Okay, so Michael Bozio, thank you. Enjoy your gift from Debbie Jones. Happy to help from Debbie Jones. Michael A. Peel says his name. Enjoy your gift from Robert J. McGee. And this one just says from Patreon. So I don't know if it's the company Patreon. I highly doubt that. It's probably somebody who just wasn't sure that they were supposed to put their name there. So that's what we have so far.
Yay!
A ton of stuff, ladies and gentlemen. A ton of stuff.
sweet.
Thank you very I mean, really good stuff. Like another bookshelf there because we've got far too many freaking books. Even waste baskets, paper baskets, waste paper baskets. I got those today.
I'm just excited to be able to organize.
Yeah, and Bethany, you're going to come in and organize me because, as you can see from here, but that's it. What is it they say about geniuses? Yeah.
I'm not even going there. Somebody said to me the one day when they were watching the camera, they were like, "What are you doing studiously while you're sitting there?"
Cleaning.
I'm like, I'm organizing the desk. I'm cleaning.
Yeah. No, you know what? We're going to have a lot more space now. So everything doesn't have to be all in one spot.
Yeah.
So it will look less cluttered. We have closets.
Ooh.
3 of them.
Whoa.
Okay. We're going to have, I'm going to get some wire racks, so we can do something. Maybe I'll even hang some stuff on the wall. Who knows? That's why I need you to come, because I don't have an eye for anything, clearly. So that's that.
Okay.
Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, the Get Out of the Car tour is this Saturday. What are we doing? Willard's Brigade. And Louis Trott sent me a text yesterday. He said, be sure you remind people bug spray, because we're going out in the field.
So and umbrellas just in case.
Bug spray and umbrellas just in case. Are you coming this week?
I can't. I have an event at work.
Yeah. Oh, that whole thing.
I do.
Yeah. Well, what's the event at work? You don't even know.
Well,
you're just making it up.
The 27th?
Yeah.
Is family day.
Bring your family to work day?
It's family day at the Spangler farm.
Uh-huh. What goes on there?
Well, they have the farm open. You can go out for free. They have Mr. G's ice cream.
Oh, yes.
And a whole bunch of living historians and programs for kids. And
okay, good. So you'll get to that in the news segment?
Yes.
Oh, well, maybe we'll get to meet Ezra. Well, I won't, because I'll be at the tour. But,
well, you can come out afterward. It lasts till 3.
Oh, does it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, yeah. Maybe I'll do that. Mm-hmm. All right, so bug spray, I told you that, and that is all of that. So what we're going to do now, hold on, let me go over here. I've got to do Colby's job. All right, we're going to take a break. We're just going to go right to the break. I'm not even going to bother playing bumper music. We'll be right back after these words.
Want the freshest cup of coffee in Gettysburg? Then visit Bantam Roasters, formerly 82 Cafe at 82 Steinway Avenue. They roast all of their coffee in-house, and they have a full coffee bar to keep you caffeinated during your trip. Visit them at www.raggededgerc.com for their menu and shipping options for all of their freshly roasted coffee. Use promo code Hancock for 10% off your order in the cafe.
Enjoy historical stories on the History Fix platform. Explore movies, short films, and documentaries. Addressing Gettysburg podcast fans receive an extra $5 off the first year's annual subscription. Sign up at historyfix.com and use promo code Gettysburg. Every subscription includes a 7-day risk-free trial. Escape into history with History Fix.
This episode of Addressing Gettysburg is brought to you in part by me, audiobook narrator Mike Scott. Narrator of Savis Beattie's Bloody Autumn, the Shenandoah Valley Campaign of 1864, and Unlike Anything That Ever Floated, the Monitor and Virginia and the Battle of Hampton Roads. If you are an author or publisher interested in having your titles produced as audiobooks, or even just in learning more about the process, give me a shout. You can find my contact info on my website, MikeScottVoice.com. That's MikeScottVoice.com.
The 1863 civilians of Gettysburg were reluctant witnesses to the Great Battle. Join Ken Rich, the man in the red shirt, for his historic town walking tours. You could book these tours by emailing ken@gettysburgtownhistory.com. That's ken@gettysburgtownhistory.com. And when you're in town, look for the guy in the red shirt. And Civil War Trails. It's the world's largest open-air museum, and they offer over 1,300 sites across 6 states. Drive the Gettysburg campaign turn by turn, paddle to Frederick Douglass's birthplace, or hike to remote earthworks and artillery positions. Visit civilwartrails.org to request a brochure and explore their interactive map. Follow Civil War Trails and create some history of your own.
You're listening to the Addressing Gettysburg podcast with Matt Callery.
Over 1 million total downloads and counting. You're back with AG Today.
Okay, so we're back now. And if you're in the Gettysburg region, South Central Pennsylvania region, whatever you want to call it there, it's not a far drive up to Carlisle. And it's a nice little town up there. I like it.
Beautiful.
There's a good pho restaurant there right across the street from the Yakking Yak or whatever, but it's pho. It's Vietnamese, the soup, the noodle, the noodle. And then right across the street, there's a place called what is it called? Something with a yak. You know what I'm saying? Yak and Yeti. Thank you very much. And by the way, when I was growing up, the people across the street from me were named Yakanetti.
Aww.
Yeah. But they anyway, great restaurants. We have
great save.
But it's a cool town too. You got Dickinson College there. It's a really neat little town. We have Chris and Courtney from the Shelling of Carlisle. You may know Courtney as the barefoot historian. Let me get to. Hold on. I'm sorry. Colby, damn you and your diarrhea. All right, here we are. So move that way just a touch. Just a touch. Don't fall there, Courtney.
I'm trying not to.
Okay, because Courtney's on the death stool. There we go. All right, better. All right, now don't look at the camera. Look at me. The camera. You don't know the camera's here. Okay. The camera's a fly on the wall. We're not performing for the camera.
Candace, it's staring at me.
I know. Just ignore it. Okay. So tell me about the Shelling of Carlisle. First of all, welcome to Addressing Gettysburg. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. Speak up a little bit. Put that right closer to your. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, right up there. All right, go ahead. Tell me about the Shelling of Carlisle. It's a play.
So, do you want to know about the Shelling of Carlisle, or do you want to know what we're doing?
What you're doing?
Okay.
Tell me about the Shelling of Carlisle with air quotes.
So, this year is the 160th anniversary because it happened July 1st, 1863. And back in last fall, late summer, early fall, I approached first the Board of Historic Carlisle, which Courtney is the president of, and said, we really should do something for this 160th anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, sure, go right ahead, reenactment committee chairman. I was like, oh, okay. Fantastic.
Never say stuff like
that.
Right?
That committee didn't exist.
Yeah.
Until Chris said,
right
hey,
then.
you know what we should do?
So Chris said,
I'm
you
like,
said,
awesome, take care of that.
So
Sucker.
I then approached the borough, who said, you can do anything but fire a cannon on the street.
Makes sense.
And I'm
take
like,
all the fun out of
all
life,
right,
right?
so the Shelling of Carlisle without the shelling.
How you gonna do
Apparently,
that?
at the 150th anniversary
Oh,
of
no.
the shelling, they did fire a cannon on High Street,
Yes.
and then they started filling out the insurance claims for the broken windows.
Ah, yes.
Whoops.
But you know what?
So-
I knew that story, and I was doing an episode the other day. I can't remember what it was about, but we were talking about the retreat at some point, and that story popped in my head, and I go, there must have been a lot of broken windows from the artillery firing down the streets, and the guides were like, "Huh? Yeah, I never thought of that, but there must have been." And I'm like, "Well, I feel like." There was some kind of, I couldn't remember the detail, but I was like, I feel like there was some kind of reenactment or something where they did that and all the windows shattered. And that was you guys. Well, not you guys, but Carlisle.
Well, and there have been other smaller events that they've made the same mistake.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It sounds like a good idea.
I was surprised last year. I went down to Antietam when Liberty Rifles were doing
the Hoods, Texas?
it was an artillery, I forget the unit. But
first
they did
section.
they did like no, I think it was a full battery, horse-drawn and everything.
Right.
Like, yeah.
Right.
And when I got there late, just as it was finishing, of course.
Shocking.
And as I'm pulling into the parking space, I hear this incredibly loud boom, and I look over to my left, and there's this plume of smoke just traveling over the parking lot. And they were up on a hill, a little rise. It wasn't even really a hill, but they were firing over the cars. And I was looking around. I'm like, why aren't these windows shattered? Like I couldn't, but I guess they're a little stronger than household windows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's stronger than sandcast that windows were at that
Right.
Because there's still a lot of original windows.
Not
Oh my gosh, I
anymore.
didn't even think about that
Carlisle.
part.
Well,
Yeah.
not anymore, right.
It's all the original windows that
Yeah.
shattered. All
Yeah.
the new stuff was like, A-okay.
Right. Yeah. Double paned vinyl.
You know, all the things people have been trying to keep safe for 150 years.
Yeah. So you're not going to be doing that.
Right. So then it was, well, what do we do? And I don't even know how the idea actually came about, but we decided to make it more like a play.
Okay.
So we can tell the story of the shelling, and we can still have reenactors involved. And what we're doing for the lack of artillery is the borough has actually approved a CO2 cannon.
Okay.
So one of our board members, his son does sound simulator training for National Guard. So we're going to tuck this CO2 cannon back in an alleyway, and it's going to pop off every now and then.
We're trying to really
But
compensate for
then-
not actually firing.
But then we are having, a tech crew there with a sound system. So we also have recordings of live artillery rounds. And we're going to use those to simulate.
Yes.
It's the only thing we can do, and have been chastised on Facebook for not having artillery. But who hasn't been? If you're holding an event and you haven't been chastised on Facebook, you're not doing enough.
Yeah, if you're doing anything, then you haven't been chastised. So yeah, but you of course explained to those morons that it was the borough that said you can't.
Yes, absolutely.
And there's a very legitimate reason why you can't.
Right.
Yeah, I'm super jealous. There's no one in Gettysburg that I know of that has ever done anything like that.
Nancy over at the Shriver House, she has reenactors take over the house on the anniversary.
Well,
but
yes,
whenever-
and Nancy does a great job with that. But I mean, like the whole town.
Yeah. Now, so how much of the town are you actually taking over here?
For the day of the event itself, we're going to have one whole block of West High Street closed.
Okay.
From the square back to Pitt Street. And that'll be a stage for the town brass band to play Civil War songs. That'll be not Civil War sutlers, but period correct vendors.
Cool.
Soaps, candles, blacksmith, baskets,
Mm-hmm.
that kind of thing. And then on up toward the square is the demonstrations, medical, infantry, artillery, etc.
And this is all on July 1st?
No, we're doing it on June 10th.
Oh, thank God, because I was like, I'm busy on July 1st.
And that's exactly why. Because if we did it on July 1st, I wouldn't even do it.
Right.
So we landed on June 10th. It gives reenactors and others a chance for a break between the two Gettysburg events. And yeah, so we have the demonstration. Then for the reenactment itself, from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m., we are closing down the whole square.
Wow.
The main intersection of Carlisle
Yeah.
will be the stage. It's 75 by 75 feet. We have a 40-page script and about 32 actors.
And now, is everybody going to be just kind of like milling about in different parts of the town that you've got for yourself? And is it like, how does it work? Where's the audience going to be? Are they going to be?
The audience are basically at the crosswalks all the way around the square.
Okay.
So imagine like a theater in the round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Theater
Now
in the square.
there'll be about a 12 to 15 foot opening in the middle of each crosswalk because actors have to enter and exit.
Right.
Troops in columns of fours have to get in and out. General Ewell, as you know, rode the campaign in a carriage. So when General Ewell gets there in his carriage, he has to be able to get into the square.
Yeah.
Other mounted troops, the wagon that is going to carry the requisition of supplies that the Confederates levied on the town. Because we're not just doing July 1st. We are cramming June 27th to July 2nd into about 2 hours.
Okay.
And we're doing the passage of time with a narrator.
I was going to say, would you have like a ring girl going around or something, holding a sign
Kind
up?
of, yeah.
Dressed in pantaloons.
Right.
So
Why,
that's...
Kate, you're not wearing a bustle.
How lewd.
How lewd. So go ahead. I'm
That's the short.
This sounds really cool.
This is
And
awesome.
what
Very
time is
cool.
it going to be?
So from 10 a.m. on June 10th to 7 p.m., we have West High Street closed.
Okay.
The reenactment itself is from 3 to 5 p.m.
Okay.
Immediately after the reenactment, the Sons of Union veterans are doing a rededication of the Cumberland County Civil War Monument on the square. And then at 7:30, the historic Carlisle Theater on West High Street is showing the director's cut of Gettysburg.
And reenactors.
7:30, so that'll be over at 3 in the morning. I'm
Right.
sorry,
Yeah.
Courtney,
No,
go
no,
ahead.
you're fine. Reenactors that are registered to come out, the Sons of Union veterans have actually paid so that all of the reenactors can go watch the movie in the theater.
Oh, that's cool. That's awesome.
So
Well, that is, so the Civil War Institute's having their summer conference then, and we go and cover it, and I'm not going to be able to do it. It's not the fun stuff. I never get to do the fun stuff.
I think I'm going to go.
You're going to go? Well, okay, so go, and then you can report about it on the next week's show.
Okay.
Even if you're not on, you come in that day, and then you can tell us about it.
Well, and I'm sure, as you know, your very own Joe Goldsberry is in it.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Joe from Peach Orchard Publishing, of course, he's been on several of the live shows and also some of our history shows. And he's very good on our history shows. I keep telling him, Joe, I want you to come more often. And he's like, oh, I'm so flattered. And then he never comes. We invite him to every show we do. But, of course, he's got a job and a family, so he can't make it to all of them.
Sure.
Yeah, Joe Goldsberry, Peach Orchard Publishing will be on or in that play. Who does he play?
He is Sergeant Layton of the 37th New York State National Guard.
Okay, and what is he? Does he get like a big part, big death scene, something like that?
No. He is he's actually playing a sergeant major. So he is sort of acting as an aide to Brigadier General John Ewan, who is commanding 4th Brigade that the 37th was attached to.
Okay.
So Joe is going to be the one who is he's kind of the gopher.
Okay.
You know, hey, we've got stragglers on the Harrisburg Pike. Go get them.
All right. Okay.
Oh, here comes that Confederate again with his flag of truce demanding the surrender. He's sort of everywhere, but not for very long.
Right. Okay. So Joe just pops in and out.
Right. But
now,
he's
where do the actors go when they're not in the scene? Where do they hide?
So we're going to have 2 locations in the opposite quadrants of the square where they can, if they have to change costumes, grab more props. We'll have coolers there with water for them. But for the most part, they're just kind of behind the spectators.
Okay.
You know, if they're just going off and coming back on in a few minutes, then they're just going to wait behind the spectators.
But that for a guy like Joe, though, I mean, he might get mobbed by fans.
Fans are going to have to.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, oh my God, I know you're working, but can I get your autograph and a selfie?
And Joe is also playing the Chief Burgess of Carlisle, Andrew Ziegler.
Yeah, I thought he was playing the Burgess too. Yeah, so he's got 2 parts.
He does.
So he's going to have to do a wardrobe change at some point.
He does.
Yeah. Wow. That's tough. Well, if anybody can handle it, it's Joe.
In the
Let me just see something here. I saw Roseanne Zyko says wait, no, where is it? Yes, Matt, now we have an answer. So it was just the other day. We were recording an anniversary show at the seminary. Roseanne was on, giving the town perspective. This year, ladies and gentlemen, our anniversary episodes are going to be Battle of Brandy Station, Battle of Second Winchester, July 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. And the thing that we're doing that's going to be a little different this year, because you got to make them different every year, you know what I mean? Is we're focusing on a different part of the battlefield, which we do each year, but also we're adding town guides to get a civilian perspective because people really like that, and we don't do enough of it, and we're trying to get more well-rounded here at Addressing Gettysburg. Okay, so so that was when Roseanne was on. We were talking about
Hi,
that.
Roseanne. Love
Hi,
you.
Roseanne. How are you? An answer about the Kansas windows. We're talking about Cody. Yes. Okay. There you go. Mitchell Randall wants to know if Jim Thorpe will be there. He's dead.
Yeah. Turns out he can't make it.
Yeah, and he wasn't alive during the Civil War, so he's not depicted in this, right?
Not quite.
Yeah. Will there be any mocking of nuns there? Yeah, I don't know if I still have the costume, but I might. Do you need a nun? I could.
You know, it's awful that you're already booked that day. I just don't know what we're going to do.
Yeah, well, next year. All right. No.
Yeah, isn't that funny though when you do events like this? You plan and you plan and you plan and you plan, and it's so awesome. And when it goes off, it's wonderful. And then you're like, I am never doing this again. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so now, Courtney.
Yeah.
We know you as the barefoot historian.
Yes.
We had an interesting conversation outside.
Oh, no.
Because I said, do you actually like walk? Because I didn't see a lot of pictures of you barefoot. You know, like you're not like showing off or anything like that, right? It's like, it's not a thing. But so where does the name barefoot historian come from?
Well, it's okay. I do actually go around barefoot quite frequently.
Yeah.
The problem is you put pictures like that on the internet and strange things happen.
And you have had a few strange things happen.
I have.
Yeah.
I have.
Like what?
Really?
But yeah. I mean,
keep it. You're opening
keep it clean.
I have a baby. I have no filter.
I know. Try.
I have been approached for photographs
of your feet.
Yeah, stepping in various things, asking if they could just tickle my feet.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's enough. I don't understand. No, I just. But that was. You didn't say the tickling part outside.
We didn't know about the tickling until just now.
You really don't have a filter. All right. I don't understand the feet thing. I really don't get it.
No, I don't get it at all.
I've had a lot of people ask me to do feet pictures. And I'm like, I'm a history podcast host. Why do you want my feet? But people love feet.
I guess so.
And you can make $500,000 a month doing it. So I've been, you check out my OnlyFans.
Yeah. Career change. I'm out.
Yeah, right.
Tell him how you got the name.
Okay. So I am a fashion historian, and I was doing walking tours, and but because I was doing walking tours, I was wearing slightly more comfortable shoes at the time. And a lady came on a tour and she was asking me about all of the clothing. You know, she wanted to know from the skin out all of the things. Not a problem. I love to share, love to educate. Sure, no problem. But I had picked up the front of my skirt to show her my stockings, at which point she sees my not awful shoes. I mean, I wasn't like completely Farby, but
They weren't really Civil War shoes.
As she so eloquently put it, they could have been more historically accurate.
Wow.
And I went into a bit of a spiral and said, forget this. I'm taking the shoes out completely and started walking barefoot, assuming I'm always in a hoop skirt. Who's going to notice?
Right.
And they did.
You'll notice when you step on glass.
They know. You know, I do it all the time. I don't step on glass all the time. I have stepped on glass. But, you know, at least 2 of our mayors in Carlisle have said, really? You walk around here barefoot?
Barefoot, yeah. Yeah, okay.
Interesting.
So you like to walk around barefoot, and you said, I'm going to call myself the barefoot historian, and you do. And
I didn't make up the name. people were laughingly calling me the barefoot historian.
Like driving by, going ha ha.
They do though. It's generally not
Pointing and laughing.
It's more lewd, but
Really?
Anyway, yeah.
I don't understand the feet thing. I'm not asking for an explanation because it's a family show. But
also with the driving by, like
drive-by laughing.
You're flying by. You don't even give me a chance to respond.
No, well, that's the cowardly way. That's why they do them as drive-bys.
Really
Yeah.
Although I did have a group of young gentlemen. One made a lewd comment, and his friend drove him back around the block and made him get out and apologize.
Really?
Nice. Yes.
Good for that man.
Yes.
Good for him. True gentleman, ladies and gentlemen.
Faith back in humanity.
All right. And Chris, you also do tintypes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And what's your Instagram handle?
CC Skylight Gallery.
Yeah, not as interesting as the barefoot historian. By the way, somebody said here it's not barefoot. She has bare feet. They're pretty impressive, actually. Bear spelled B-E-A-R. Like the animal.
Like
the animal. Right.
All right, then.
You were born
I've never
with bare
seen
feet.
a bear
I feel
go.
like maybe.
Yeah, that's.
I've seen many bears.
What kind of bear
in my
does
life.
that?
It's a sexy bear. I have no idea.
Kiki the bear. So, okay, so you guys, you do that now. Is that what you do for a living? The pictures, or is that just a hobby?
Tintypes.
Tintypes.
Let's clarify.
So
Not pictures.
Not pictures.
Jesus. Well, what's on the tin?
Feet. No.
It's a whole bunch of tintypes of her.
Tintypes of her feet. Yeah. No, but really, go ahead.
Please do that. Pick one of those
Courtney's real job is the barefoot historian, because she is a fashion historian. She makes custom clothing. She made her dress. She's made a lot of what I'm wearing.
I was wondering where my tablecloth went. I'm sorry. I just had to. I had to. It's actually very nice. I'm just teasing.
Her dress is gorgeous. Don't
I
ever make fun
wouldn't
of her
have made
again.
that joke if it wasn't nice.
It doesn't bother me. I mean, comparing outfits. Come on now.
What? I mean, it's comfortable.
So it's mine.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Go ahead.
I do actually have a quote unquote real job.
Okay.
I am the. I don't even know what the title actually is.
The everything guy.
Yeah. I actually work at the Daniel Lady Farm.
Do you really?
I do. Which is.
Why have I never seen you there?
Convinced him to move to Carlisle, and he
Yeah,
works
I
down
lived
here.
in Gettysburg. She comes down here, takes me to Carlisle, and now I'm working
Back
in
here.
Gettysburg.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah. So I can say firsthand that a lot of things out at the farm are getting turned around.
Okay.
Not just because of me.
Right.
But,
Okay.
you know.
But it's like turned around, meaning.
So for one thing, the boards, the running organization that was there has been kind of
changed
word I'm
over.
looking for recalibrated.
Revamped.
I think recalibrated, revamped. You know, so now we have some reenactors as department heads who are handling some things. And
Was it not being organized by reenactors before? You're talking about the reenactment, I'm guessing. Yeah.
Right. So, to an extent, the stuff on the field was, but a lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff was, people who run events.
Yeah.
And it's a great bunch of people we have out there, and they're really, really working, because the farm doesn't have the greatest reputation on Facebook, on, just social media.
Really?
Yeah. So this year we have actually instituted, I wrote impression guidelines.
Prima nocte.
For the reenactment.
You've instituted prima nocte.
This reenactment's gonna get wild fast.
Really quick.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So really, we're trying to elevate the reenactor experience, elevate the whole look of the farm. I'm a carpenter by trade, so it's not just doing the work, but doing it in a way that it can be viewed historical.
Okay.
So keeping that in mind when I'm fixing things, building things, et cetera, et cetera.
Were you out with the crew the other night that were weed eating?
Nope, we pay somebody else to do that.
Oh.
Yeah, come on now.
I
These are
know,
historians, not landscapers.
I went by and I was like, I beeped and waved, and I thought maybe I waved at you. I just think that's
Not that I am above swinging a weed eater.
Right. But you got other things to do.
But right. Exactly.
Okay. Well, it's an innocent question, Beth.
I power wash the Rupp House, so let me tell you.
Do you?
Nice.
Wow.
Fantastic.
While pregnant.
Wow, you are the Elizabeth Thorne of the Gettysburg Foundation.
Damn
Good
straight.
for you.
Absolutely.
You
Good
weren't
for you.
burying bodies, were you?
No,
Not
but
recently.
working manually, doing manual labor while pregnant.
Yeah.
How many months pregnant were you?
3.
3 months pregnant. My God,
I know.
you trooper.
I know.
How did you do it?
Well, nausea pills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you have the morning sickness all the time?
Oh, yeah.
Oh no.
It was sad.
So you're power washing and barfing at the same time.
And barfing
At least
at
she
the
can
same
clean
time.
it up.
Yeah.
At least she could, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. She could power wash it up the sidewalk.
Exactly. That's horrible sounding.
You gotta love South Park. They've got
that was
something for everything.
That was aggressive.
Yeah, I know.
0.0.
All right. So what we're gonna I don't know. I just felt
go
like
with
hitting
it.
that button. Yeah. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're going to take a break. We'll come back. You guys stick around. We'll do the news. You can sit and join the conversation. Just feel free to talk. About whatever we talk about. Okay. You don't have to wait to be. You don't have to wait for me to say something to you. And we'll be back in a minute. We'll be right back.
Aren't you glad you used Dial? We are too. We'll be right back.
Seminary Ridge Museum and Education Center, Gettysburg's premier museum, is housed in the historic Lutheran Seminary building constructed in 1832, a witness to the first day of battle. The museum's 3 floors of exhibits connect visitors to the dilemmas that led to the Civil War, provide a powerful and personal view of the battle's first day, and explore one of the battlefield's largest hospitals. No visit to Seminary Ridge Museum and Education Center is complete without a guided tour of the building's famous cupola, where on the eve of battle, officers and civilians saw thousands of Confederate soldiers' campfires burning to the west, and Brigadier General John Buford watched for vital federal reinforcements as fighting erupted on the morning of July 1st. Today, you can stand where Buford stood and discover how this view helped chart the course of the Battle of Gettysburg. Your trip to Gettysburg is not complete without a serious visit to Seminary Ridge Museum and Education Center, Gettysburg's premier museum. Purchase tickets online at seminaryridgemuseum.org or call 717-339-1300.
To get tickets or a cupola tour, listeners may call or walk in and mention addressing Gettysburg, or by ordering online using the promo code AG1863 for 20% off.
Seminary Ridge Museum and Education Center. It began here.
There's a devil to pay.
If you're a lover of history, then go to trhistorical.com. There you'll find apparel, drinkware, decor, and more featuring a wide range of interests from the ancient world to the Cold War. Looking to make an impression with the perfect gift? Well, TR Historical now offers gift cards and a vintage wrapping service for a truly unique presentation. And our listeners will receive 10% off plus free shipping in the U.S. when you use promo code GBERG1863. So go to trhistorical.com, TR Historical, for the love of history.
Think outside the bus and let family-owned Gettysburg Tours take you on a cycling journey across the picturesque and historic Gettysburg battlefield. There's no better way than by bicycle to gain a feel for the terrain of the battlefield. Slow enough to see it all, yet fast enough to do it all. Follow the route of Union troops entering the fray as you ride to the site of the first shots of this epic 3-day battle. Feel the drama as you put yourself in the position of a Confederate soldier just before he steps off to make Pickett's charge. Take a stand with the heroic Colonel Chamberlain on the slopes of Little Round Top, just before you view the fields of honor beneath you from its summit. All of our guides are officially licensed by the National Park Service. So don't get a sore neck trying to see out of your car, and saddle up with Gettysburg Tours for a 360-degree view of America's most important piece of real estate. Gettysburg Tours. Think outside the bus. Go to gettysburg.com or call 717-752-7752 to book a battlefield experience you will never forget.
You've heard us promote various ways that you can help us keep the show going, but one way we haven't pushed too much is our sutlery at addressinggettysburg.com/shop. That's a shame because we have designs over there by talented artists like Ty DeWitt of 1863 Designs and Mike Stretch of the Heritage Depot. So now we're promoting it. Buying shirts, hoodies, mugs, and other items from our sutlery not only helps us keep the lights on, but it also helps guys like Ty and Mike, and it helps spread the word about the show every time you wear an item or you sip from your mug. So head over to addressinggettysburg.com/shop and grab some merch. It's the perfect Christmas gift for the Gettys nerd in your family. That's addressinggettysburg.com/shop.
Have you noticed our revamped website at addressinggettysburg.com? Well, that's the fine work of a man named Mike Stretch, and he also redid our logo for us. Both of them I originally designed, and both of them were originally horrible, but now they're nice, and that's all thanks to Mike. Mike has an awesome t-shirt company called Heritage Depot. There you'll find great designs based on Gettysburg and the Civil War with t-shirts and other types of merchandise. So go to heritage-depot.com and spruce up your Gettys Nerd wardrobe. That's heritage-depot.com. Our favorite bookstore in Gettysburg is For the Historian, located at 42 York Street. It's because they have the best selection of Civil War books in Gettysburg, both new and used. And online, they have even more to choose from. And if the Civil War isn't your thing, that's not a problem. This is For the Historian, after all. They cover history from the ancient world to the 21st century with a strong selection of World War II and American Revolution books. It's astounding how many thousands of titles from Osprey, Savas Beatty, UNC Press, and more they have in their store. And that's because, well, they have a warehouse too. And that's where they keep all the books that are available online at forthehistorian.com. And folks, if you go to forthehistorian.com now and order books until you're blue in the face, be sure you mention that you heard about them on Addressing Gettysburg in the Note to Seller box, and they will refund your shipping costs. And if you prefer to stop by when you're in town, well, you could do that too. Just mention Addressing Gettysburg at checkout, and they'll take 20% off the retail price of your item. So go to forthehistorian.com or stop by 42 York Street, or you can call them at 717-685-5207. That's forthehistorian.com or 717-685-5207.
You're listening to Addressing Gettysburg.
You're listening to the man who refuses to travel while single. I love that I never read these before I start doing them. Okay, all right.
Take him from the
You're listening to the man who refuses to travel while single. Here's Matt.
All I need to do is roll rocks down on you.
Right, but that's it. You hit the nail on the head.
All right, we're back. So we were talking during the break. You guys, well, let's start with this. You had some Catholic school nightmare flashbacks coming back from our conversation. You said your knuckles were hurting you. Go ahead.
You know, just trauma.
Yeah.
We
Feeling
all
that
have
tingle, that little like
I have a
yardstick corrective.
So wait, did we all go? There he is.
I swear to God, I said I cannot believe.
I told you he barges in. Did you go to Catholic school, Chris?
No. I was a heathen Baptist. Went to public school.
Not a Baptist. Oh, jeez. I remember
go home.
We went to. Cam, have a seat over there. Grab the chair. Have a seat. Where's he go? Oh, no, he's gone. Okay.
That's the first time it's worked.
Took me this long.
Hey, it was you throwing the white.
Cameron, we're in the middle of something here. Grab the chair over there and have a seat. Those will reach. Those. Yeah.
I'm fine standing. I just been.
You've been sitting all the. Okay. All right. Anyway, so you were a Baptist. So the three of us are Catholics, and we went to Catholic school. Did you go to Baptist school? Did they have Baptist school in your day? Probably not, right?
Like 100 years ago.
Yeah.
You're making it sound like he's 100.
20 years ago.
In your day.
And all right, but Courtney, your flashbacks though. You said your knuckles were hurting. They didn't hit you in your school?
I also went to boarding school, and they did have a paddle.
Really? Yeah. What kind of was it, like a? a Catholic boarding school? or?
No. But your parents
Just
did
a sadistic
have to sign
one.
It. Yes. Yeah.
And your parents had a sign one saying it's okay to paddle you.
Corporal punishment was fine.
Are
did
you
have
serious?
One, and they would get.
And I'll bet you got it a lot because you've got a mouth on you, don't you?
I don't know what you mean.
Yeah, you're one of those people that speaks your mind. Yeah, and that gets you in trouble.
I'm one of those people that gets thrown out of classes for making smart-ass comments.
Yep. Yep.
Asking why cavalry didn't take island nations, and I would say because their horses couldn't swim that far.
So you were a wise ass.
Absolutely.
Still are.
Some things haven't changed.
Yeah. Well, that's good though. But I mean, it's fine to be a wise ass. It's
As
fun.
we watch marriage counseling happen.
There's a reason I'm
On the
usually
show.
wearing a morning gown.
Yeah.
Just wishful thinking.
Oh, that's terrible. You are also probably. Oh, sorry, my friend Pete thought that was funny. Pete's on a delay.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, his laugh.
Yeah.
It's evil, isn't it?
Yep.
It just cracks me up every time I hear it. Anyway, you guys also have the misfortune of knowing our friend Cameron Mallow. Right, Cam? Let me see if I can maybe turn the camera and get all of you guys in there. Now, Cam, just move over to your right a little bit more. And you can, or grab the stool and sit down there. Yeah.
Where's the stool at? There's a ladder here.
There's a stool behind you.
Oh.
Oh, boy. Man.
Be careful with that one, Cam.
All right. Well, you're close enough, Cam. Here, grab the mic, Cameron.
We've had the winter off. I haven't had the appropriate doses of cam training.
Yeah, I mean, your body language to him being here is much like when someone confronts their mugger. It's like, okay, we have to do this because it's court, but like I'm very uncomfortable. Right, Cam?
It's the corset.
Now, yeah,
That's what it is.
Right, makes her all like tense.
Yeah.
Cameron was very excited because you guys recently did an event at the Daniel Lady Farm with it was 300 Boy Scouts.
200.
200 Boy Scouts.
Yep.
You said 300, Cameron.
I thought it was 300. There was a good number of them there.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Cam
Tap
wasn't
that
registered.
microphone, Cam. Is that on? No, it's not. Oh, I know why. Okay, hold on. Keep talking.
Unmute me.
You finally got to make a funny, Cam. Good for you.
Cameron has a mute button?
Where is it? No.
We need to find it.
We had to artificially install one.
You know what, Cam? You have to go over to Colby's desk and use that microphone. Sorry.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, don't fall. Don't fall. Be careful.
Be careful. Please be careful with that chair.
So, and yeah, don't manhandle it too much. Okay, there you go. All right, so you guys know Cam. Now, Cam was very excited because there were 200 Boy Scouts there, and they were going to do like a reenactment. Tell me what it was.
Okay, so Friday, the Scouts come in. They all camped together. And then Saturday, they ran through stations. They went through like the soldiers' intake and kind of some medical. They did cavalry, artillery, flags, and then infantry. And then Saturday afternoon, they were issued a haversack, a wooden rifle, and inside the haversack was either a blue or gray kepi, completely at random.
Uh-oh.
So then they go back to their group camp, and they have to tear down and move to Union and Confederate. So they get there, and we lined them up, tall to small. So it was like 100 Union, 100 Confederate. We counted them off in threes, and then so we formed companies. And then we taught them manual of arms, marching maneuvers.
How fun.
Yeah,
And
I wish they
then
had that when I was a kid.
Sunday, we did a little more drill Sunday morning, and then we actually had a battle. I built a little split rail fence out on each two ends of the field at the farm. And lo and behold, I was commanding Confederate that weekend, and lo and behold, we get out there, and there's these two artillery pieces that came out of nowhere, and the scout leaders are manning them, and Cameron's in charge of them.
Oh boy! Now, so all right, so this wasn't part of the plan.
No,
This is
No.
Captain Chaos coming in,
Yes.
and just effing up somebody else's hard work, basically, right?
It's all right because we actually we captured his guns and
threw them in the road. So what happened is that Cameron has 2 Quaker guns, fake guns that what are they? Lawn ornaments you use them for, Cam, or?
No, I actually keep them stored for like living history stuff in case we're going to teach kids about artillery.
Okay, and so you could do like very like simple demonstrations on it. They don't fire,
No,
obviously,
they
right?
just can go through the maneuvers. The kids like that kind of stuff.
Sure. And so he's got him in his house, and he hears about this. Now, Cam, what's going through your mind? Did you consult anybody, or did you say, I'm just going to do this?
It was at the spur of the moment with Doug and them. I said, hey, I got 2 Quaker guns over at my house. Why don't I just bring them over?
And they said, who invited you?
No, I said who invited you. No, I feel the need to clarify.
Okay, go ahead.
That Cameron and I and Courtney, we are in the Federal Volunteer Brigade.
Right.
So we're all on the same side.
Yeah.
Cameron's in 2nd Regiment. I command 4th Regiment. Courtney's the head of the Sanitary Commission. The Union command that weekend for the Scouts was Doug Snyder, who is the Federal Volunteer Brigade Chief of Staff. So whenever Cameron showed up with these things, you know, he's among friends.
Mm-hmm.
And Doug, you know, thought it would be hilarious to, you know, have these things roll out.
Well, I think I was
So
the first
under
one
the
that
cover
saw
of darkness, when they're all in bed
Under the cover
asleep,
of darkness, that never
I drive-
goes well.
I drive my truck in and start unloading them right in front of Doug's camp, and Doug's thinking, how in the world did he get them to here? And then he sees me putting them together in the darkness.
Yeah, like it's midnight, right? Like everybody's asleep.
We wanted to sneak them in so we could see their reaction, and it was perfect. He came across waving a white flag of surrender.
Wasn't a white flag of surrender. It was a flag of truce.
It was
which time
it
Doug
was a
and I were
plastic
like, so what are
shopping
we
bag
gonna
you
do?
wanted to put over your head, is what it was. It wasn't a white flag. It's like, oh, look, he surrendered already. It's like, no, I'm trying to suffocate you.
Chris is just happy I don't have the Gatling gun put together yet.
Do not show up with a Gatling
There's some
gun
things
when
this
there's
world just doesn't need. And Cameron with a wooden Gatling gun?
No.
Pretty high on the
one of
list.
them.
No. No. Oh, shh.
So, all right. So, Cam, and you had a big thrill. Did the Scouts like it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did they got to participate with it and everything? Now, how did you? Okay, so you're showing them how to load, and then somebody else fire. What happens?
We just were just going through the motions, giving the kids a
So
little.
you yell
extra
fire, and then they all go boom.
Well, that was the Scouts leader's idea. I just went with it.
Oh, okay.
We thought it would just add to the moment for the kids.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm sure it did. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree with that. And we
And
did
it
the
aggravated
same
the
thing.
organizers.
Dorsey was over there going, what
Dorsey
is that?
Pender?
No.
different Dorsey.
Different Dorsey.
His 2 other officers were over there going, what is that?
Yeah. Well, and interestingly enough, everyone leading the Confederates was actually also a Union soldier in the Federal Volunteer Brigade.
Yeah.
So all the company commanders, you know, they're officers in the brigade. So it was fun
Yeah.
for us.
Of course.
You know, and the kids were having a blast. Because
Yeah.
every time we would yell fire, they would yell bang, and then we made them count to 30 while they reloaded.
Yeah.
And the very, you know, and this was the very first time. Now, we taught them charge bayonet, you know, which is just bringing the rifle down, bayonet at eye level, rear rank port arms. Well, in the battle, they didn't wait for the bayonet part. They heard charge, and it
And they
was
just went.
Yeah.
And for a second, Doug and I are like, oh my God. Because, you know, reenactors have safety zones and they can't get that close. And then I'm like, well, wait a minute.
There's nothing.
Hurt each other.
Yeah.
You know?
I
So
saw it
it's
all
just
from
a
the hillside.
sea of blue and gray keppies, you know, and just tangled mass
Aw,
of.
That's great.
Yeah.
They've had a great time.
Oh, absolutely.
I would have
We were
loved that
taking
as
them
a
out,
kid.
Killed and wounded, you know.
Yeah.
They were.
Now, as the girl who was the nerd growing up, did you ever think about doing something like this for Girl Scouts?
So okay,
Oh.
so these days it is
afraid.
just called Scouts.
Scouts. Yes.
And
so
there
were girls there.
lots of females there as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
One in particular. Not me.
Oh, our 13-year-old daughter was
14
one of
on Monday.
14 on Monday. Was
Happy
one
birthday,
of
Piper.
the.
She wasn't 14 on Monday back then.
That's my birthday too.
Is it really?
29?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew we were gonna
Well,
be
a
friends.
preemptive happy birthday to you, Bethany, and your 13-year-old 14 on Monday daughter.
Yes.
So Piper was one of the first sergeants for one of the companies. And now this was her first time doing anything of that nature. She's used to just being a private on the line. And by the end of the weekend, the scouts were scared of her.
Really?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I bet, because let me tell you, if I had been given authority at a reenactment as
Yeah.
a 13-year-old girl,
Sure.
man, they would have been
Yeah.
KP duty all day
Oh,
long.
and they would have been, and they would have listened to you too.
I'm sure not.
Yeah. No, they would have. I think they would have.
Do you think?
I think at that age,
terrified.
if a girl is given authority, the boys all act, well, maybe not all, but mostly act appropriate. Yeah, I think it terrifies them.
For the most part. For the most part, yeah.
If in the battle she was shot and had to fall to the ground, would somebody yell, "We have a Piper down"? Repeat, a Piper is down.
No.
No? Okay.
No, but you can
Can
bet
you do
your
that,
ass I'm
though?
going to do it now.
Cam will be doing
Bonfire. Speaking of down, I almost got drenched the past 2 days in the kayaks at work. It fell off.
Why? What do you mean you got
What
drenched?
fell off? That was a recording.
We have a unicorn.
It's very strange.
I know,
Cam's
right. Right
in
there.
my head and over my shoulder.
Osborne, Protestant.
You know, that's actually where I went to college.
Did you really go to college at Artisan Protestant?
Yes.
No, you didn't.
As much as
What the hell is it actually called?
Alderson Broadus.
Broadus.
So it is actually now Alderson Broadus University.
Right,
But
and
yeah.
they're about to change again, I heard, to...
Osborne, Protestant.
After your show, and they heard that, they was like, no, that's a better name.
They're like, finally someone's heard of us.
Osborne, Protestant. I'm trying. I have a hard time with names sometimes. Kathy. Bonfire.
This is hard
All right.
in a corset.
So, go ahead. It's hard to laugh in a corset?
No, it just is hard.
What is a bustle?
What's a bustle?
Is it a corset?
No, it's like the butt part. So
Imagine
the
wearing a
whole you're
lobster
not wearing
tail.
a bustle is
It's
crap
It looks
lie.
like
I
you're wearing
know.
a lobster.
Doc totally would
Okay.
have known she
Right?
had no bustle on as soon
Exactly.
as she walked in. because There would
Exactly.
have been no ass. Sorry.
Oh, it's the thing that makes their butts look
Yes.
like the...
It creates the back shelf.
Yeah. Okay. I never knew that was called the bustle.
Thank you for that. I have worried about that. I have said that to other people
What?
about he would have known immediately if she didn't have one on.
Yeah, because you could see it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
You're not wearing a bustle.
But she was not wearing a bustle because
Still
they were
would've
going to
been
make a
able-
getaway on the horse.
Right.
Right, but having a bustle on doesn't make you more able or less
It's
able, to ride a horse.
And was that
Just
the,
hike the
well,
skirts up.
right, okay, yeah. Well, see, I don't know. How do I know this?
I mean, I
Estella-
thought it was common knowledge.
Estella Beard says, my daughter shares a birthday with both ladies on the show. There we go.
Happy birthday.
Everybody's got a birthday coming up here.
May
Sarah
25.
Woodhouse says, love AG. Thank you, Sarah. We love you too. And my mom said, just joined. You neglected to paint the picture of your outfit when making the movie. Well, all right.
Aw, Mrs. Calorie, we have so much to talk about.
So it was a nun's costume that I got at Party City.
Sure.
And she was, she was a little,
Busty?
rotund.
Oh.
And at the time, I had not rotundified yet, so I had to stuff pillows or blankets or whatever I could in there, and then walk around. And then my mother would come home from work and see me and my friends like in the yard or whatever shooting something, and I'm dressed like a nun, and she'd be mortified because she's like, "What the hell do the neighbors think?" And I'm sure the neighbors probably thought we were crazy and because of the
Going to
goofy
hell.
shit
That's
that I would do. Yeah, well, yeah, going to hell.
What you don't know is the neighbors had pulled chairs up to the windows and were like sitting there like grading your performance.
Look at the calorie kid. He's dressed like a fat nun again.
Ethel, come over here and look at this.
Abner, come look at this. Matt's going crazy again. Well, and I think with all the sales that I made in the high school, I think I made about $50 off of it. So
How much did you?
Oh yeah, you did that too.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much we actually made.
It still exists.
It does. We actually have it on DVD.
Oh, do you? See,
Yeah.
you're younger than me.
Yeah, but
Big budget
a couple
film.
years.
Yeah.
We started filming the summer between our senior year, and then finished editing minutes before it premiered. All three of us that made the movie had our graduation parties together. And
Oh, so you spent a long time.
We rented a projector. We spent a year on
Yeah.
it. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Absolutely. So it's called The Evening News. And this is whenever, like, the movie Anchorman, it came out.
Okay.
And we're very, fond of Monty Python. And so it's news stories in the town of Kamloops, Canada. And, we had a mafia.
Kamloops.
Yeah, it's actually a real town out on the west coast of Canada, about the size of Pittsburgh.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So we had a mafia assassination that got covered. We made fun of... So whenever my dad was in high school, one of the chemistry teachers was actually having the students make the ingredients for, I forget what kind of drug, and then he was staying after school and cooking it. So we had this chemistry teacher, fresh out of college, he's younger, so we kind of picked on him and had fun with him. And... He would probably once a week, he would wear this blue shirt with the yellow SpongeBob square tie.
Mm-hmm.
So we got a blue shirt and a yellow SpongeBob square tie and put him in the movie as, the chemistry teacher who gets arrested for, cooking these drugs.
Right.
Interestingly enough, just a couple years ago, he finds me on Facebook, sends me a message and goes, "Do you want your damn DVD back?" 'Cause we gave him one.
Did you say yes?
I did, actually. I
Yeah.
was like, well, yeah, I'll take it because mine I thought had been lost to history as well. And
Yeah.
it's the only remaining copy
You've
I'm
seen
aware
it?
of.
I have.
I remember in
It
2005.
was riveting.
Do you ever think to yourself,
How did I end up here? Yes, all the time.
did you ever think to yourself, I said yes not once but twice? Yeah.
We when the
Mistakes were made.
Poor Mark. That's what he says to me all the time. If I think he does something weird and I give him the look, he goes, "You said yes twice."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
2005, I wanted to put out the 10-year, because then I had DVD
my
technology, so I wanted to do the 10-year anniversary re-release.
Of course.
And I never actually followed through. I got as far as doing director's commentary.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, you should do it. Yes,
it
do
is.
it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Yeah,
absolutely.
do it.
Go for it.
You know what? Yeah, Cam likes that idea too. The other thing you just reminded me too, because there were other. There was so I sort of forgot that I didn't totally drop it after we did the Doors movie. Because by senior year, my friends had been, they were surprised by the success of it in the student body, and they're like, "Maybe we should do another Lardbutt movie," and that was her nickname. And
That is so mean.
well, we were kids. What do you want from me? I'm not proud of it.
As you sit here talking about it for a solid hour on your podcast.
Yeah, I'm confessing. I'm
Okay.
cleansing my soul. Anyway, so
Reconciliation.
we were like, okay. I was like, yeah, all right, let's do it. And we were really into Goodfellas. So we decided we were going to do a parody called Good Sisters, and we got like one scene done, and then it just fell apart, and so we never did it. Another one, we wrote a musical called Shawnee after a friend of ours, and it was about his quirky ways, and that never got made either. But anyway, yeah, those were the days. Those were the good old days. All right, so now last time, Cameron, did you get everything out that you wanted to share with us?
I just wanted to share. I almost ended up in the Chesapeake this past week.
Oh, you mean not in a boat?
I about fell out of the boat yesterday.
Now,
and today,
now, wait a second. Words matter. fell out or were almost cast overboard?
No, about fell out.
I feel like about is the important. So you didn't actually.
No.
No.
Oh, okay.
So there's no story, here.
Ends
Oh, no.
because Cam was safe.
Right.
And then
There's no
today-
punchline.
No, then today I about jumped in the Chesapeake when a snake tried to slither into my boat in the water.
Don't like snakes. Really? What kind of snake was it?
I think a little water snake.
Okay.
Oh, makes sense.
Yeah.
Location-wise.
It was in the water. Yeah. You sure it was a snake?
Yes, I'm sure.
Okay.
I was out there doing interpretive talks for the kids in our bike and kayak
You
program.
thought dance there for a second? Exactly right. Me too.
Interpretive dance?
I literally would like.
I was doing interpretive dance.
To the Star Spangled Banner. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed? That would have been awesome. Kim, we have to get you to do an interpretive dance to the Star Spangled Banner.
Yes.
It's our bike and
people would
kayak
watch.
program.
Okay,
where the
so
kids,
the
we
kids
bring in-
ride bikes and kayaks, and then
No,
what?
half of they bring in an 8th grade group of kids from a local school.
Yeah, do you talk out of your ear? Thank you.
Half of them go biking while the other half goes kayaking.
Okay, got it. Canoeing.
And
Canoeing.
so part of my job today was to go with the kayaking groups.
And you actually have to get in a kayak?
Yeah.
Oh man.
What?
Yeah. And I go out and do an
is why I
interpretive
can't
talk
work.
on the Battle of Fort McHenry from the water.
So you're
That's actually really
I
cool.
want to do
That
that.
is really cool.
Yeah.
Can
How
you
do we
do
do
it as an
that?
adult?
We got a public day. We got like a public day coming up in June, I believe.
Is it June 10th when everything
Yeah.
else is?
I don't
Exactly.
know. I think it's June 17th, actually.
So wait a second. So adults can't do this normally?
No, not normally. I don't know how it's working. I know it's a public day where they're going to allow the public people to come in, and
But you also work on the Pride of the Chesapeake or Pride of
I'll
Baltimore.
be,
or what is it
through-
called?
Pride of Baltimore.
Pride of Baltimore.
I'll be actually on her Saturday evening for training.
Leave it alone, Courtney. Leave it alone.
So maybe by the end of the year, I can add to the FEB 5th Regiment of the Navy.
What?
Oh,
FEB.
Wait.
Federal Volunteer Brigade.
Oh.
Our reenacting work.
Oh. I'm thinking Federal Bureau Employment Bureau.
And then
Make it funnier.
Cool.
Okay.
and then next week, I'm going out to Havre de Grace to represent.
It's Havre de Grace.
No, it is not.
I'll be
Don't do that.
working with the with our partners, the Pride of Baltimore, the ship and the crew, doing tours and talking about the War of 1812 in Havre de Grace all next weekend.
All right, very good then, Cameron.
And
Very good.
Do you wear like period clothes for that, or you have to wear your?
I might do it at the fort one day, but not on this. We gotta be in our gray. I gotta be in my gray and green.
Gotcha. Just curious.
So,
I like to sometimes just let it go silent.
So they're letting me go solo for this.
Okay. Oh.
Oh Lord.
We need to go down there with a camera.
You got this.
So you're gonna captain the Pride of Baltimore
No,
solo.
no.
Okay.
He's a regular Jack
Yeah.
Sparrow.
I'm going.
Again with the pirates.
All right. So what do you do? You're the cabin boy,
No, I'm down there representing the Park Service
right?
as we're partnering with the Pride of Baltimore, which is selling up for their festival they're having.
I thought they were already back.
They're back. They're in Baltimore, but this is also in the Chesapeake. They're going to be going around the Chesapeake this summer.
Are you going on any overnight tours or trips on the Pride?
Not I know of, but
That would be cool.
my training with the Pride this Saturday is at sunset on the Chesapeake. So that's
Your face is so priceless. You got all like squinty eyed, and you're like, I love face.
Well, my girlfriend's saying that's training.
Yes.
That's unfair.
Wait.
What do you mean?
You have a girlfriend?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I know.
Does she know
Isn't God
this?
cruel? Hey, I'm
Is she
single. He's
aware?
got a girlfriend.
Is she aware?
He's yelled at her out the door with a bullhorn.
Why?
Whatever do you mean?
All right, Cameron. So you are. Cam loves the tombstone lines.
Ouch.
Bye. All right. So you.
Bit me.
Something bit you? Yeah. Oh, Jesus.
Cam's over here.
It's not Cameron. Are you all right?
Yeah.
Something bit you.
Oh, yeah.
Like what?
I don't know.
Where did it bite you?
On my foot.
Maybe it was one of those water snakes.
Oh my God! It is a snake. Oh, that's a cable. I don't see anything.
I don't know what it was. But
There's
that
like a
was
bug.
weird. I don't know.
Maybe it's a brown recluse and your leg will rot off.
Oh, good.
Yes. Well, all right. So listen, last week when we did the news, Veronica scolded me. She told me that when the intro was done, I play the sound effects too much. The little sound bites and stuff. And she said that a listener told her that the previous week when you were on, they said it looked like you were ready to punch me in the face. And so in honor...
That was for other reasons. Than
thank you. In honor of you and Veronica wanting us to take the news more seriously, we have a new introduction. And so let's listen to that right now.
He put Pirates of the Caribbean.
Silence! Everyone, silence! 'Tis I, Veronica, and I am here to deliver you the news. There will be no laughter, there will be no fun, there will be no frivolity, and most of all, there will be no interruptions from sound effects. I have spoken. Fold your hands. Put your feet flat on the floor in front of you if you are sitting. And take heed, for I bear the news. The news for you. For all of us to hear and to take seriously. So, I shall begin by introducing myself. Here with the news, including sidewalk conditions, is I, Veronica Marybeth Brestensky, Esquire. Take it away, me.
You doing news or events first?
She's the gal who knows what's going on. So take notes. There's a test at the end. Here's AG Today's lead anchor, Veronica Brestensky, with news, traffic, weather, sidewalk conditions, and what's happening this weekend.
I must have all possible information.
You sexist bitch.
Put him in the cell with a long hose on him. Put him in the cell with a long hose on him.
There's no time. I have told you there is no time for that.
You ruined a funny joke, you. Get out of my off-five. Me love you long, Tim.
Son of a bitch.
All right, it's not Veronica, but it's Bethany. And Bethany, we are going to be very serious here as you deliver the news, because we all know on a comedy show, we need to bring it all down when the news is being presented. So, Bethany, without further ado, it's you.
Cam, can you open the door real quick? I promised Jamie that I would give sidewalk conditions. So can you open the door so that I can actually see what the sidewalk
Want to see what the sidewalk looks like?
Oh, shoot, it's snowing.
It's snowing.
Jamie, currently it is sunny and nice outside. There is a brisk breeze. Town is cray.
It's cray.
This past
You can
week,
close the door, Cameron.
We had 120 buses at the visitor center.
What,
in one day.
In one day.
Yeah, so be prepared,
Sweet
peeps. It is cray.
Yeah,
outside.
well, it's it's that time of the year.
It is.
And the bus season ends soon.
Yes, thank
A little
God.
bit of sanity returns.
Yes.
And then
Sacred Trust happens, and then
there's more craziness, but that's good. I mean, cars are easier to manage than buses.
True story.
I mean, the bus situation is insane.
I don't know
I do.
how we're going to, because we have Tawnytown Road is the
Yes.
entrance from the visitor center onto Tawnytown Road.
I think
is
that's
closed
almost
down.
finished.
The 18th, I heard, June 18th.
Well, I was talking to the guy because the construction office is right out the door here, and
Yeah.
I was talking to one of the. I don't know if he's the foreman, but he's up there because he's always in the office with another guy that looks like he's in charge. And he said it's basically done.
Oh.
All they need to do is backfill one part and then clean it up and then paint lines. And the reason he was telling me this is because he I guess he travels around the country and works at different locations, and he's got to go to California for a job that he's already had lined up, and this should have been done by then and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
And they want him to stick around a little longer. But he said they don't really need me because they all know how to do lines. He's like, I don't know. But that's
I
what
don't
he
know.
said.
I'm
I
hoping
don't really
it's done
know.
before that because my goodness, this has been the worst.
It
But
is.
it's
It is a
nobody's
little
fault.
annoying. Yeah.
It needs to
And
happen.
it has to happen. It has to happen.
It does. That road was getting really bad. So I'm glad that they're fixing it. So the news is it's nice out. There are a lot of buses.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to come to Gettysburg in the next 2 weeks, I recommend you wait.
Mm-hmm.
Because come to Carlisle.
Go to Carlisle instead. Yeah.
Because it is just, I can't.
It's too much. So, for Bethany's sake, please, ladies and gentlemen, don't visit in the next 2 weeks. If you have plans already, cancel them and change them for December.
Well, one of the things that started
January.
happening is because we don't have as many places like Saverhood and, Airmark here at the visitor center, things like that exist for if you have a bus and you want to unload a lot of people and have lunch or a box lunch or something. But there aren't a lot of places for that. So now they're unloading at Giant.
What?
Yes. And
What?
so
Wait, who?
buses. I've been at
And
Giant.
to eat?
Yeah. Like multiple times because I have to take Uncle grocery
'Cause they
shopping.
got food
Pick
inside.
up your groceries while you're there.
And they have buses, multiple buses unloading at a time, people coming in
to go to the
get
salad
their
bar. That's why
stuff.
when I
It's
go there
nuts in
at
there.
a
You can't
normal
find
time,
anything.
I can't get those
You can't
rotisserie
get
chickens.
anything.
Little bastards keep eating up the rotisserie chickens.
awful.
That's what they are.
Yeah. That's why, because normally if you get there before 6 o'clock,
Yeah, there's
you
a
can
rotisserie
get
chicken.
them. But
Yeah, I
once
know.
6 o'clock comes, all the moms grab it and it's like, okay, here's dinner tonight, kids. And then
Yeah.
they're gone by 6:30, 7 o'clock. I'm going at like 4, and I'm like, where am I going for sinking chickens?
Yeah, no.
And that's why.
Yeah, the buses are unloading at Giant now.
So why? Because there
There's
isn't
just-
enough.
There aren't enough places for buses to go to get unload all
Yeah.
at one spot.
How
And,
disappointing
pickets-
a bus tour, though.
They go to the
Take you
Giants.
to the grocery store.
And they're like,
Get
get
your
what you
free
want.
roll-ups, kids.
Just
Get what
a
you want.
snack,
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, right.
And it's not like Giant, although, my husband works for Giant, but it's not like they're Wegmans.
Right.
How dare you?
I know.
Giant is the closest to Wegmans we'll ever get in this area, and you better be happy for it.
I am thrilled.
Giant's not bad.
Something bit me.
Are you? Let me see. Let me see. You have a mark or something? Blood?
Fine.
The
Okay,
fang marks?
the news. I'm the one making the
All right,
news,
go
not
ahead.
professional. But anyway, there isn't any. I didn't have time.
All
to
right,
get
so
news.
that's
I'm a
fine. You don't
horrible
have news,
person.
but there
I'm
are
sorry.
events. There are events.
There are events.
All right.
This weekend, where the action is.
What's there to do and see when you're in town this weekend? Here's Valerie, Veronica to fill you in.
It's all covered.
For those of you that don't know, this weekend is Memorial Day weekend, and so there's a lot going on.
This is what it was.
No, it wasn't. Seminary Ridge
Ink
Museum
from a pen.
is doing their Sunset series.
Yes.
And this time on the 26th at 6:30, they're doing a walking tour, Final Attack, July 1st, 1863. So if you want to join that walking tour, you can meet at the Seminary Ridge on the 26th at 6:30.
Okay.
On the 27th, which is Saturday, the George Spangler Farm and Field Hospital will be having their Family Day from 10 to 3. It is free and open to the public, and you can come in and actually drive your car in. You don't have to go to the visitor center for the shuttle. They'll have ice cream for Mr. G's and a lot of living historians, and they have a new cannon out there, so they'll be demonstrating not shooting it off.
Oh.
No, it's not Cam's
It's
cannon.
not Cam's Quaker gun.
It was lovingly donated.
Hey, maybe they would like it if I showed up at midnight and put my Quaker guns up there and they wake up in the morning. I'd love to see the look on their faces.
On Saturday at the World War II Museum.
George Washington at Bunker Hill.
What? He wasn't at Bunker Hill.
Okay, so Saturday at the World War II Museum from 12 to 4, they're going to have their Memorial Day free author talks. So you can go out and see that at the World War II Museum.
Right.
And then the park, NPS, the Eisenhower.
Ah, yes.
Is
Let's
going
not
to
forget
have,
the Eisenhower Farm is
Yes.
part of our park here,
yes,
folks.
and Memorial Day is a big deal for them. They're going to do a Century of Sacrifice stories from the Gettysburg National Cemetery at 6 o'clock. Out at the cemetery, you can meet them, I do believe, at the Tawnytown Gate.
The hell was that? Oh, my God. Wait, you got
Scared
bitten?
the shit out of me.
And
There's something in here.
Oh, my God, there's a ghost in here. And I felt a cool breeze between my legs just now. All right, don't worry, everybody relax. It's just the...
It's one of Tim
Scared
Smith's
the
amoeba
bejesus
ghosts.
out of me. Anyway, they're going to do a talk. The NPS from Eisenhower are going to do a talk at the cemetery, A Century of Sacrifice, at 6 o'clock on the 27th.
Okay. I can't wait to get into the new studio.
Sunday the 28th.
We'll have so much room.
At 10.
Yes.
Eric, your former producer.
Eric, the producer, Moni.
Yes.
By the way, this segment is brought to you by Von Dedham & Co., makers of fine leather goods. Contact them at vondedhamandco@gmail.com.
Yes. He will be at the Children of Gettysburg 1863 Museum in the side yard doing a demonstration of his leather work because, of course, Mr. Rupp, who owned that property, was a tanner.
Mhm.
So, of course, we want the kids to know what tanning is all about. So he will be there from 10 to noon.
Very
doing a
nice.
demonstration,
So will we...
being adorable for the children.
That's Sunday.
That's Sunday.
Yes. I will make sure to be there. Sunday's my day off, so I will make sure to be there.
Perfect. Sorry, I was reading something. and
What were you
getting
reading?
confused.
Somebody send you a message?
No,
Oh.
I'm
On paper. Yeah,
I don't have my
invisible
phone.
ink.
Yes. On the 29th,
Mhm.
Piper and Bethany will be turning 1 year older.
Oh, they will.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yay!
Congratulations. How old are you going to be? 29?
37.
37. You're 3 years away from when you stop being honest about your age.
I will always be honest
Yeah?
about my age.
All right. Talk to me in 5 years. I'll give you 5 years.
I cannot wait to be old.
Really?
I want to be.
Really?
I want everyone down the road to think I'm a witch.
Mm,
Does that mean 40 is old?
yeah.
No. I mean, like, I will
Really
never
old.
lie about my age because, like, no, I love you.
You're amazing.
But the 29th is Memorial Day. That is
Yes.
Monday. And it is also the start of the 100 Nights of Taps, which will be started at 7
Yes.
at the Soldiers Monument in the National Cemetery.
Love
There will be
100
a
Nights of
guide
Taps.
program starting at 5:30 every night before the 100 Nights of Taps. So
Right, I
if you want to
think
come
Rick-
early for the programs, they start at 5:30.
I was walking around town last night and I saw Fran Fiac and Ralph Siegel sitting having cigars out in front of the Union Cigar Club. So I stopped and talked to them for about 2 hours. And I loved it. I loved sitting and talking to them. It was a nice night.
They're
it was kind of
adorable,
getting
both of them.
windy though. But yeah, we had some good. Actually, Fran had some good ideas of things to do, and we're going to try to do them in the next 12 months, like
awesome.
events type
Yeah.
things, tour
Fran
type
has
things.
great ideas.
He does have great ideas.
Yeah. And Ralph is just the cutest.
Yeah, he's adorable. And anyway, so we were talking, and I think Fran said that Rick Schrader is doing a tour or talk or whatever in the cemetery on Saturday night. That's actually when Eric and I met Rick. He was doing a talk or a tour over there. I don't know what you call it.
I don't
It's not
have
really
that
a
on
tour.
my. I didn't see that. Rick, I'm sorry if I missed one of.
I don't know.
your
Do
talks.
they announce it, or they just do they specifically, or do they just say there's going to be a guide there at this time?
I honestly don't know.
Yeah, I think so. I'm not totally sure, but that's what it sounded like he said.
All right.
So
well, also since it is Monday, is Memorial Day, they're going to have the Memorial Day parade. Starts at 2:00.
Mm-hmm.
It does go right past Rupp House, so if you want to, we have
Hang
that
out on the
huge
porch
side
with you?
yard, or hang
Yeah.
out on the porch with me. You're more than welcome to. And then at the Children's Museum, we're going to run an event from 10 to 5, where if you have a child who would like to learn more about their Civil War or any war ancestor, you can bring their name and what war they fought in to us, and we will do the research for you on Fold 3 and show you how to do that and fill out a research sheet for
What's
you.
Fold 3?
Fold 3 is a database, kind of like Ancestry.com, but it's for military records.
Got it. Unmute me! All right, relax, Eric.
So you can come there from 10 to 5 and we'll help you do the research. And then I created a little research form so you can write down the information you find out about your ancestor, and then you can take that home with you and keep it for your own personal
Very cool.
edification.
Very good. Go ahead.
And then on June 10th in Carlisle, there is going to be a
Yes.
gargantuan event in honor of the 160th anniversary of the shelling of the city.
Yep.
And it sounds freaking awesome.
And I'm going to miss it.
Well, and
What's the website that this, like, if people want more information?
So if you go to facebook.com/historic Carlisle,
Okay.
the event is being hosted by Historic Carlisle Inc. So on their Facebook page is the event, or if you just type 160th shelling of Carlisle into any search bar, you should probably be able to locate it without much difficulty.
Good.
Are you guys doing anything at Daniel Lady for the Memorial Day shenanigans?
Not that I am aware.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't
to see
think
if you
so.
wanted to shout out anything.
No,
So
no,
it's
I
a-
appreciate the opportunity.
It's a little late in case. I mean, if he doesn't know by now.
Right. Well, I know that I will not be there.
Right.
The Shelling cast has actually been offered to march in the Carlisle Memorial Day Parade, kind of
Nice.
a nice little advertising.
Yeah.
And then lining up the parade and getting it started got dumped in my lap a couple days ago, so I'll be
so
there
you got
for
to
that.
do the parade.
Right.
Wow, you're a
See,
busy
you
man.
should never tell people that you like organizing events
Yeah.
or
No,
that
I
you have
didn't.
organized an event before.
Yeah, well, this is the former mayor of Carlisle, Kirk Wilson, who has done the parade for like 40 years and is also on the reenactment committee. So he knows that, we get things done. But before I agreed to do the parade, I actually asked our daughter Piper, because, it's our birthday, what do you want to do? Is it okay if we do this parade?
Mm-hmm.
And she said, yeah, that's fine. But we're going to spend the rest of the day in Gettysburg.
Nice.
It's like, well, okay.
There you go.
Come
will.
to the Children's Museum.
Maybe we will.
There you
I've actually not been in there yet, and I've wanted to stop by.
Well,
so
come on in and say hi. I'll be
be a
there
good
all
time
day.
to do that.
There you go.
On my birthday.
But yeah, and,
hanging out with the peeps.
You and Piper can hang out. We'll sing
my God,
happy
we can
birthday at you.
Take pictures together.
Amazing.
and
and Estella beer.
Estella will be there as well.
She
Very
can
nice.
come hang out birthday party at the Rupp House.
That's not what I thought you said.
I thought you
I-
said a Stella, like a beer.
Like
no,
a beer.
I thought you said you'll sell
said,
her
like,
beer.
yeah.
Oh no!
I thought of the Stella
cheap. You could at
Artois.
least offer
How
her
authentic
one.
are
I
we
don't
getting
drink.
to 1863 with the children here?
You have no idea.
All right. So is that it for the
Yes.
news? Somebody here. Let me see. Who was that? Looks like we got Agent Bambi.
Oh.
Says, love the show today. Does Barefoot Lady make period pieces for babies?
I have patterns for them.
She's got patterns.
I do. I'm a little slammed with every reenactor and his brother who said, I need a new uniform for the 160th.
Oh, yes.
So,
yeah.
as long as it's after July,
Can I ask you a question?
no.
Thank you. So you guys, you're in the reenacting world.
Yeah.
Now, I understand. I totally understand. Uniforms are expensive.
Mm-hmm. God, this is going to be.
But,
Be
I always hear reenactors talking about, authenticity. Oh, we're authentic. We're so this, we're so that, we're so authentic. It's about doing it right, It's about getting the history right. It's about getting this right and that right and everything like that. but they're perfect. Like, no dirt, no holes, no sign of use like a soldier would have on campaign. I assume that it's because I was like, dude, I spent a lot of money on this. I don't want to ruin it. But I kind of look at it as like, you're ruining it by not ruining it. Like, you should ruin it. Yeah.
So that is a.
I say this as a non-reenactor, so please enlighten me.
So that's one of those, argument old as time kind of things.
Okay.
Should your gear look dirty? Should it look used? Now, when you've been reenacting,
when you thump your chest, dirt should
right,
show.
Right.
Like John Buford. Yeah.
So, people who've been reenacting as long as like Cam and I,
you're just naturally dirty.
Well, yeah, our gear is just, it looks used.
Yeah, it should look used. Like there should be ring around the collar on your shirt.
Sure.
The cuffs and everything.
and some of that stuff.
Bite marks from lice.
From whatever's in the.
We all need to drink bad water and get dysentery,
You need stains in your underwear.
So, yeah, it's one of those things, and I totally understand it. You're going to spend, a few $100s on a coat. You don't want to rip it up. If you're like an enlisted guy.
Gotcha.
You don't want to take it out and rip it up and destroy it.
Right.
Just
right
so
away.
it looks authentic. And I mean, there are guys who will lambaste people online for dirtying up their kit.
Yeah.
And then there's the people who lambaste them online because they look too clean. You can't win.
You can't win.
Yeah. I think there's a healthy medium in there somewhere.
Sure. I mean, maybe. I know this is easier said than done, but maybe, you buy the nice new one, right? And then you go and you find a used one that you could get cheaper and either mess that up or maybe you get it, it's already got some wear on it. Like Marilyn Sutler.
Oh, yeah.
Like I'm not a reenactor, right? But I have jackets.
Yeah.
I like the jackets. So I'll go there every once in a while. I'll check out the rack they have on the porch, and if it fits me and I like it, I'll get it. But I want something that looks like it's got some use.
I've picked up a lot of stuff from John over the years.
Yeah.
We go in there. Well, because one thing that he has a lot of in there are patterns that you can't find anymore. So Courtney's always in there digging through the patterns and,
But here's the other
BSing
thing,
with
though.
John.
From the fashion historian perspective, think about the level of skill that most soldiers had. They had small sewing kits. They weren't
But they weren't going to make it
necessarily-
perfect. They were just going to patch it.
No. But there was at least upkeep. And
Of course.
That's what I think a lot of people,
But it was not
21st century mentality.
But the blue was not that pure blue. The buttons were not shiny. I mean, I know
the
that.
first day. No.
What?
It's not after the first day.
No, exactly. So, I don't know. I think it would look cool. There were these guys. You might remember them. I don't know when you were here, but when I lived here from 2005 to 2010, and there were these guys that would walk around the battlefield every weekend during the season, 3 or 4 of them, and they must have eaten like hardtack and salt pork all year long because they were skinny as rails. And their uniforms were faded, and the bottoms of their pants were
They
like
weren't
tattered.
reenactors.
They were ghosts. Oh God! They would walk around the battlefield all day long, like no shoes or tattered shoes. Yeah. And I was like, this is like so cool. Like they should all look like these guys. And I don't know who the hell they were. If you guys are out there and you're listening, let me know. Like send me an email. I want to know who you were and where have you been. I want to see that again. Come back.
If I ever had a dress made for me, like if I had a dress like what she's wearing made for me, I would be afraid to wear it.
No, but it's different. It's different. You're not a soldier in the field. You know what I mean?
But even still, the clothes are constructed to be able to withstand wear and tear.
Yeah.
Any uniforms I send out to a client, I will make it. It will look nice, but it also will be sturdy enough that if you are rolling around in the dirt,
Yeah.
It won't
it's gonna
You
hold
the
up.
one
And
problem I have is that when I get some of these jackets, the buttons come off immediately. It's like they don't even bother sewing them on right. And I end up having to take it to my friend's sister and be like, can you sew this for me? Because I don't know.
You could just learn to sew.
Now, who's got the time
putting a
to
button
learn
on
to
is
sew?
really not that complicated.
Huh?
Putting a button on is like
No, I mean,
that's it.
I've
and if you can tie a
I've
knot.
deconstructed an already sewn on button. I'm like, yeah, I could probably figure that out, but I don't. I don't want to take the time to do it.
Took it apart to find out how it was put on.
No, I didn't take it apart. I deconstructed it in my head. I looked at it and I was like, oh, I see what they're doing. But who wants to?
Two knots and a piece of thread.
2 knots and a piece of thread is difficult for me. I don't have like dainty surgeon hands that can get in there and do all that stuff. Cameron, what about you? What is your what is your philosophy on reenactors and their dirty uniforms?
I have actually uniforms to look the period when I'm out in the field.
So you have uniforms that are kind of beaten up?
Yeah, and then I have some to wear to balls and everything.
Right, exactly. Right.
Same.
So that's what I'm saying is like have one for the field and have one for your balls. All right, let's see. Matt gets a new uniform and immediately rolls in the grass like a puppy. Absolutely. The thing is, I try to get used uniforms that have some wear on them, and but I have a couple of things I need to hire you for.
Yeah.
Well, and the other thing with our tintype business,
I also have that too. Have some ideas
we've
for
got a pretty extensive wardrobe, and I'll go to John and see things in, especially large or smaller sizes, just to have them on hand. So when people come into the shop, they want to get dressed for a tintype. I have something for everyone, and a lot of that stuff, I buy used stuff for that.
Sure,
it's still got lots of life left in it.
Of course,
but
and it's got character.
Sure,
Used things have character.
But
do you have more people come in for the tintypes with their own stuff than you do with people without?
No.
No,
Mm-mm.
no, because we're, in Gettysburg, you get the reenactors.
Mm-hmm.
In Carlisle, you get the more touristy type, people who are there for a car show, and they think the tintype thing is cool, so they come in and get dressed. But we actually do have quite a few people who, they'll contact us through the website, and they'll come from quite a distance to get dressed and do the tintype. And we're actually, to my knowledge, we are the only traveling tintype company that also brings a wardrobe for people to put on.
Okay.
Usually these these tintype artists, they go out, they set up, they got the camera, but like places like the 160th Gettysburg, if you got a wardrobe for the spectators to put something on to get there, it just makes it all the more memorable for them.
You must really love doing that, because I would not lug all that stuff if I were doing that. I honestly, I hate the thought of that. I used to do videography, like wedding videos and stuff, and the thought of packing up my gear and bringing it and unloading it and then packing it up again and going home and I'm tired. I hate that stuff. But so good for you guys for doing that. I couldn't do it. Where do people find your business if they want to?
The Barefoot Historian.
Yeah.
So it's all through the Barefoot Historian?
Because we are the Barefoot Historian and Company. Courtney is the Barefoot Historian. I am and Company.
You're
and
the
Gary
company.
Edelman just thinks that's hilarious. We're going to be seeing him soon. The American Battlefield Trust, Gary and Chris are coming up to do a bit of a filming in Carlisle.
Mm-hmm.
We actually got access into the cupola of the old courthouse.
Nice.
They like the cupola things.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
we're gonna
cool.
take them up there.
Did you say Abe Lincoln?
That's Gary. All right, so let's see here. Cam, did you answer the question? You did, right? You've got dirty and you've got nice, right? I like that. And you acquire them over time. You're not getting them all at once. I think a lot of people think they need to get this all at once.
No.
But no, according to my book on reenacting, which I've never done, you should acquire them as you see them. As you see a deal, you grab it and you go.
I want to dress with sleeves like hers. Show the sleeves.
Calorie, we need
Hold
to
it
get
up.
you
Hold
in
it up.
uniform.
Hold it up. Yeah, that's.
I feel like a big hostage.
What is that called? What is the stand up? Let's see it. Let everybody see the skirt and everything, because that's a lot of work.
I'm scared of this bench.
Yeah, be careful. It's not a
that
bench.
you're
It's
on
a
my skirt.
death trap. Yeah. So you got. Okay, let's see. So you got the little doily up there on the collar.
Yeah,
Right?
yes, the doily.
Is that what they call that?
No, it's just a collar.
Oh, it's just a collar. Okay, and then
The doily goes with the tablecloth. That's what I was wearing earlier.
that's a nice callback.
Hey.
And then you got the brooch.
Yeah.
Right?
That was a gift. That was
And then
Mother's Day gift.
you've got a corset on underneath.
I love the hand gestures that.
Well,
you're doing.
because the
yes, I do.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
Yes.
But because it makes it
underneath,
look a certain way.
hoops underneath,
Yeah. So the corset pulls in the waist.
Yeah.
Does it hurt?
No.
It hurt me.
If it hurts, you're not wearing it right.
Correct.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Is
if
that true?
If it's uncomfortable, it's because it is either not made for you or it is ill-fitting.
See, in the movies, they
Corsets
make
are-
it seem like
it's a load of crap.
like in Titanic when she's before dinner and her mom is and she's holding on to the
Gone with
bedpost.
the Wind kind of a
Yeah.
No.
But remember
no.
when she does that in Gone with the Wind, she's doing it to try to get down to a former
Exactly,
waist.
exactly.
Right. Hold on
So
and suck it.
So tight lacing wasn't. I mean, a few,
Yeah.
especially vain, or if you're going to a ball and
Yeah,
you just
that
can't
just
get
sounds-
into your damn dress.
Well, and the whole corset thing,
But
like
it's no
you
different
see
than
in
married women today trying to get into their wedding.
Yeah, Spanx and stuff.
Right.
But what you see in movies with corsets is just as bad as the crap you see with uniforms and
Sure.
gear. So
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, the corset is actually very comfortable. But it's just like you wouldn't go out without your bra today. You wouldn't go out
Nah.
without a corset. It's very
you
supportive.
Think? You think?
It's
you often
see
go out
what
without
walks
your
through-
bra, Matt?
All the time. How many skirts are under the out? So the dress is the outside, right?
Right.
And then underneath you have skirts.
I do. I have an overskirt, and I have a hoop skirt,
Uh-huh.
and then I have another couple layers under there. But I'm not. That's as
But
much
that's
as you're gonna get.
Yeah, that's fine.
Without
but
paying
But
her.
that's Jesus.
I'm just saying.
No, it's just fascinating because that's just a lot of work just to look pretty,
Yeah.
Right? All those layers you got to put on.
Absolutely.
Does Chris help
But
you?
every layer has a purpose.
It does. It
What?
does. It does.
Most people think
Sure.
that it's just to look pretty.
Right.
No.
Every single layer she is
So
wearing
what
has a
is the purpose of each layer?
So the very bottom layer would be your undergarment,
Yeah.
and then your corset goes on top of that, but
Yeah.
your chemise is underneath.
Chemise.
To absorb sweat and dirt, so you don't have to launder your corset because your corset is boned and it's harder to launder. So it keeps the sweat and direct filth
Yeah.
away from the corset.
Okay.
And then generally you have some kind of a corset cover over that, and then
So you're not hurting the garment then too.
Exactly. Because
is it
the,
hot?
Really?
It can be.
I mean, it sounds like it's hot.
It's yes, but I will say what all reenactors say. Yes, but natural fibers breathe.
Yeah, but that's bull.
Or what I say is it hot? Some women think so.
I have to deal with this literally every day.
I like you guys. You're fun. All right, well, listen.
So can I
what?
sit down now?
Yeah, please do.
It does
Please
feel
do.
like a
Carefully.
Like
Just be very careful.
All right.
Yeah.
oh, good. I get
Be
to
very
do it
careful.
live.
Just
That's
hold on. Yes.
awesome. So when I fall, everybody gets to laugh.
All right. So listen,
Down.
ladies and gentlemen, this is, if I may just take a moment here before we end here, this is the final episode, not final episode, but the final show of AG Today done in the Gettysburg Tour studio.
Oh.
It has been a wild ride, a long journey. I know.
You said that last time.
Oh, Jesus Christ. We got to start it all over again. No, I'm going to do a different one. All right. So,
Oh, thank you.
thank you. Perfect. So, this is the final AG Today from the new studio. I'm sorry, the old studio, the Gettysburg Tour studio.
We don't
Don't-
know what studio we're in.
Gettysburg Tour. Don't forget our friends at Gettysburg Tour, 717-752-7752. When you want to take a tour of the battlefield with your family or yourself, come and do that. 717-752-7752.
Thank
No, so we this is the last one here. Definitely next week, perhaps the following week, there won't be an AG Today because we're going to be tearing this down and moving over to the new place. The new place, there's more room. So that means there's more options. And I need to think. I need to get my buddy Bethany, my friend Amy. I need to get everybody in there. Colby. And we're going to figure out, how we're going to do this. And we're going to wire first. We're going to figure out where everything goes in relation to the table. We're going to wire the room. And then we're going to foam
Decorate it.
We'll do some decorating, and then we're going to put the foam panels up, and then hopefully we'll be ready, lights and all that other stuff. So it's going to be a couple weeks before you see AG Today again. And when we come back, it'll be in the new place. And don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. I know when we moved to Colby's place last spring, everybody was so upset because it looked so different, and they were like, it just doesn't feel the same. And so we're going to try to, as you saw, I painted the whole thing black. So we're going to try to replicate the feeling of this room. It's going to be a little different. It's going to be a little nicer, especially Bethany coming by twice a week to clean. And that'll be wonderful. Thank you, Beth. After work, you come over and just clean the place out.
Okay.
But no, really, I'd like to thank Jake from Getty's Bike Tours for letting us use this. It honestly was a huge help to us keeping this going. Because honestly, I thought that Addressing Gettysburg was going to die that winter because we didn't have a place to go. So Jake made it work for us, and I'll be forever grateful, and you should be too.
Oh, there's a swamp dragon.
Oh, really? Thank you, Cameron, for interrupting my beautiful speech. So that's it. So we're going to miss you, of course. But don't worry, there's history shows that are still coming out. We've got 85% of the shows for the year in the can already. And that's because of Dave Bussiere.
All sewn up.
And,
All sewn up.
All sewn up. So I could take a whole month off and no one would know because, well, except for the AGTA stuff, because shows will still come out on Patreon and on the free feed.
There you go. I say do it.
Yeah. So Francis Hasuli says, "What a great show." You're absolutely right. Jacob Masters says it's been a fun one this evening. It has. Eric Koval says, "Are you going to christen the new studio?" What does that say? With a bottle of champagne. With a bottle of something. I don't know about champagne, but bottle of something.
I was gonna bring.
We're gonna make Cameron.
Tonight.
Yeah, you were.
I was, but then I opened it and I realized it was literally like 7 years old, and it was not good enough.
It's all right. Nobody likes champagne anyway.
I was like, wow.
We're going to make Cameron have his first drink at the new studio.
Did you just turn 21? I'm kidding. I love you.
Cameron's older than me.
No, he's not.
A lot of people don't realize that. Cameron's 52.
How old are you?
31.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's that West Virginia water keeps people like Cam and I?
You look so young. That mountain water.
Jacob Master says, "Can't wait for the 160th. Looking forward to seeing their live streams." I think he's talking about the trust there. La 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 la. Cam, don't fall out of the pride of Baltimore. Charles Adams says, "Captain Cam Sparrow."
That's going to be my nickname down at the Federal Volunteer Brigade.
There you go.
Was that English?
I bet it's not, though.
What did you say? I bet it's not.
He said, they're going to call me something different.
Where's your translator when we need him, Cameron? You know?
John?
Where's Johnny?
Where's Zabawa?
Zabawa?
He's probably playing with his new chicken house now.
Oh, yeah? All right, great. All right, so that's it.
Cool.
That's it, ladies and gentlemen. We are done here. Say goodbye to Hollywood. Say goodbye to the old studio. You're gonna love the new one, and if you don't, too bad. We're not leaving it until
they kick us out.
Until they kick us out. Yeah, exactly. So that's it. Thank you guys. Thank you for coming. Go check out the Shelling of Carlisle. We're gonna go to Saberhood now and have some dinner. We're starving, and that's about it, ladies and gentlemen. See you in a couple of weeks. Have a great early summer. Bye.
Addressing Gettysburg Today is hosted and produced by Matt Callery and Veronica Brestensky, Esquire. Engineered by Colby Sumner and maybe, sometimes, someone else. Guests of the show stay wherever they want. That's not our concern. To be a guest on the show, send an email to matt@addressinggettysburg.com. Addressing Gettysburg Today broadcasts from the Getty's Bike Tour studios. To get a 15% discount on your next tour with Getty's Bike, call 717-752-7752.
I'm trying.
Huevos Grande, the voice of Addressing Gettysburg Today. Thanks for listening.
There's no time. There is no time. I have told you there is no time for that. There is no time.
You're stupid sound effects.
Dan, Butterfield.
No. Oh. All right. Good night, everybody.
Well, that happens to coincide with my shitting my pants story.